Ask for a lawyer immediately. Don't sign anything, don't say anything, and don't agree to without a lawyer present. Demand your right to a local phone call. If you call a lawyer, the police are not allowed to listen. If you call anyone else, they are likely to listen. So remember those things as we protest peacefully. 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 Peacefully.
Peacefully.
Peacefully.
Peacefully.
Come on. Peacefully.
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 Thank you. So, my next speaker that's coming up, I've been knowing this guy all my life. I think we sung in the same choir together. We grew up in church. Come on up here, Sam. The whole city already knows who he is. This is my guy right here.
Welcome back, my little democracy field trippers. I was trying out something new over there on Haps TV, and there's some constraints. Mainly, I couldn't see your chats.
Oh, this is beautiful, man. This is beautiful. You guys look around at what's happening right now. First, I want to appreciate and thank the organizers of this event. You guys have done an amazing job. You guys put your hands together for the organizers. I just want to thank everybody for taking some time out today to come do something that's important. And so, I'm just thinking of the irony of having this at King Elementary School in a neighborhood that we all, for a lot of us, grew up in, played in these parks, went to these schools, ran around. And unfortunately, man, gentrification has this neighborhood looking way different than it did when we grew up. And the fact that we are here talking about Black Lives Matter in a neighborhood where Black lives used to matter, in a neighborhood where Black Lives Matter have been replaced, Black lives have been replaced with Black Lives Matter signs. I see the irony in this. And so I just want to appreciate everyone that's here today. We all know that the reason why what's been able to happen downtown for 65 days in a row is because a certain demographic decided that at this moment, enough was enough. Our government has showed us time and time again that they have no problem killing Black lives for the world to see. But they showed us over these last 65 days that although they'll make white lives uncomfortable, they're not taking white lives for the world to see. And so with that opportunity, with this moment, we have an opportunity. And so I want to talk about what's next for us. For those that are a part of this movement who have been doing this work in this community for years, this is not the first time that we've marched. This is not the first time that we rallied. This is not the first time we got together and said enough is enough. Right? But this has been the longest. This has been the most consistent. And with this, we have an opportunity to invoke change. When we get uncomfortable and discomfort happens, that is the time where change begins. And so we have been unbelievably uncomfortable. But in this moment, we have to understand what's next. We have to be prepared for the next step. You know, I see people arguing all the time about the difference between Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. The reason why we say Black Lives Matter, because all lives didn't matter when they said all men are created equal.
You know.
I'll say that one more time for you guys. Black lives did not matter when they said all men are created equal. We say Black Lives Matter because Black lives did not matter when they said liberty and justice for all. We understand that over the last 400 years, we've been doing one thing, fighting for an opportunity for it to be fair. I think we get caught up a lot of times in talking about equality, and equality means giving everybody the same thing. And what we are searching for is not equality, we are looking for equity. We want things to be equitable. And for those who do not understand what equity means, that means that we all have the right for things to be impartial and to be fair. How difficult is that? That we spent 400 years fighting for the opportunity for things to be impartial and things to be fair. So as we take this step into this change, we are in the middle of something that is going to go into the history books. We are in a moment that's an equivalent of 3 of the most life-altering experiences in the last 100 years. We are going through the equivalent of the Spanish flu, a pandemic. We are going through the equivalent of the Great Depression. We are going through the equivalent of the Civil Rights Movement, all at one time. So what we have the opportunity to do is rewrite the history books. The history that we will teach to our children and our children's children is the history that we create. And a lot of times I understand that to get change is tough. And for years and years we've marched, we've chanted, we've asked, we wanted a seat at the table. And so what we have to understand is to deal with a certain dynamic and a certain group of people, it's only one way that some people are going to listen. And so at times chaos has to be created.
What's up, Chris?
At times money has to be circulated. And so what is happening downtown, what's happening around this country, but what has happened consistently in Portland for 65 days straight is the reason why we're here. And so with that moment, I want us to speak about what's next. Because we're going to get called into rooms at some point. We're going to be called into spaces at some point, and they're going to ask, what do we want? Will we be prepared when that moment comes? Are we ready to not ask for anything any longer, to demand the things that we need? We've asked nicely over and over and over and over and over and over again, and the asking is done. When someone continues to knock on your door and ask for some food, at the beginning the knock is soft. Then the knock gets a little louder. Then the knock gets a little louder. And eventually that door gets kicked down. And we are at that space right now. We are at that time. And so for my allies here, it's beautiful to put a sign in your yard. I appreciate it. But you have to understand your privilege and what that privilege means and what that gives you and the opportunity that privilege gives you to speak up for someone. We spent time downtown fighting and arguing for Black Lives Matter, but black folks is walking down the street and not getting talked to. I'm gonna say that again. You're arguing for Black Lives Matter and black folks is walking down the street right next to you and not being spoken to. If you truly want to be an ally in this space, you have to get uncomfortable. That might mean having a conversation with a family member. It might mean asking for some things at work. It might mean taking away from yourself in some spaces to make sure that it is impartial, it is fair, and it is equitable. We've been living in 400 years of inequities, and the time is now. So what's next? What's next is us focusing on things that we need to create a self-sufficient black community. And to my brothers and sisters, I'm talking to you now. What we need is an opportunity to create a self-sufficient black community. And the way that that will look, and 7 things that I think that we need help with, is first, prevention. It is very easy to prevent something instead of us continuing to get into a space where we are reactionary. When shit happens, we get concerned. Why don't we focus on preventing things from happening? We need programming for children. We need elementary school program from children from 0 to 8. We need things from children from 9 to 13. We need things for kids from 14 to 18. And what we have been confused with in our community is we think that when somebody turns 18, they grown. That is the furthest thing from the truth. At 18, you need more help than you did when you was 2. So creating programs that is going to assist. The next thing that we need to focus on is intervention. Everybody's life is not rosy. Have we been put on pause and forced to sit down over these last few months and reanalyze ourselves? It's been some children that have stayed in the house with an abuser for 4 months. There have been children that have stayed in the house with someone that doesn't like them. There's been children that have stayed into a house where they don't have any food. We need to be able to have the resources of community policing, of gang outreach, of transition, of creating things to intervene when somebody gets off of the trail, right? As we grow, we all make mistakes, but the thing about community is understanding that we all make mistakes and helping someone correct them. So let's focus on that. The third piece is education. Education. We know systemically that we have not had the same opportunities with education. As a young lady so eloquently put before, the numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And the numbers continue to show a disparity in our children. And so what we've learned and what we need is we need our own school. We need our own school to teach our own curriculum, to teach our own education, to teach the true history. And what we've learned from this COVID-19 pandemic is we don't need a building to go to school. Because every child that we know is not stepping in a building until we don't know who. So let's take advantage of this moment. Let's step up our education to what we want it to be. The next step is into career and trade. Career and trade. Understanding and creating what Mr. Hobson says, positive contributing citizens. Giving young people opportunity to get into a career, to get into a trade, to be able to make a living wage and take care of themselves. The next piece is talking about financial literacy and ownership. I'm gonna say that again. Financial literacy and ownership. If you own, it will not be taken away. If you own, gentrification does not have the same effect that it has now. We need to teach ownership. We need to buy a block. We need to buy a neighborhood. Because this is not the first time that we have been shifted. We started on Vanport, we went to Mississippi, we came to Northeast, and now where are we going to build again?
Wherever the hell you want to.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Next piece, and I got 2 more and I'm gonna get up out of here. But we need to focus on law and policy. Law and policy. I think this is something that we do not take seriously. On a federal level, that's one thing, but we have a lot of power and control in what our local and state and city government looks like. We have to enforce our right to vote. We have to make demands to the people that we put in seats for what they want to give us. We saw this neighborhood change, and that was not on accident. Everything that happens was from a meeting. We were not in attendance at those meetings. We were not participating in those meetings. We were not having a voice in legislature. We wasn't having a voice in policy. These are things that we need to look into, right? We need to understand we also need equal health care.
Yes.
One thing that COVID-19 has done for us is showed that our government knows how to lie. Everything they said that they could not do, they have done. Everything they said they could not do, they have done. They have allocated $5.2 trillion to whatever the hell they wanted it to go to. Money is just a computer, right? They showed that we can have free health care. They showed that we can have free education. They showed that we can have loan forgiveness. People don't have to if they get put in a situation. They showed that you don't got to pay your rent. You don't got to go to work. They have a lot of things, right? And we're not going to go to that level, but they have a lot of things that they can do that they said they couldn't do. And lastly, And lastly, we just have to look into accountability, responsibility, and oneself. We are in the middle of not only those three things that I've spoke on, but we are in the middle of our young people acting a way that we have not seen in a long time. And so as we sit here and we scream Black Lives Matter, we have to understand that Black lives have to matter to us as well. We have to understand, do Black lives really matter? We cannot, as a Black man, we have it coming from so many different places. As Black women, we have it coming from so many different places. And we have to create a system. We have to create an environment based on love, accountability, and responsibility to get where we need to get. So I am very proud of everyone for stepping out here today. But again, in 2 weeks, when it's not as bad, we still need to push. In a month, when it's not as bad, we still need to push. In a year, when it's not as bad, we still need to push. Because if we stay the course, we stay the way we're gonna go, we're gonna get where we need to be. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for letting me talk to you. And as we go, my brothers and sisters, I want to hear it loud, man. Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power! Real shit.
All right, you guys can go home now. He said everything. I told you, that's my guy right there. Let me just tell you guys this. This feels way, way, way more better than being shot with rubber bullets.
Can confirm.
Tear gassed.
Can confirm.
Grenades, not the real grenades, but the flash grenades. Trust me, I've experienced
Don't like those.
all of the above.
And more.
I've been downtown every night since the beginning. Since the beginning. Well, I wasn't there the night they were looting, so don't put me in that crowd. But I was there the night after that. And I just want to say this feels way better. I'm not choking. I don't have to wear a gas mask. This feels a whole lot better. All right, I'm gonna quit rambling. But thank y'all for coming out. I see the indigenous people here for Black Lives Matter. We love you guys too. Also, a lot of other things get looked over also. We want to get rid of ISIS. ICE, not ISIS. We want to get rid of ISIS too. We want to get rid of ICE. We're not forgetting about our Hispanic community, our brown brothers and sisters. I love you guys too. We haven't forgot about you guys. Coming up next is a young lady. When she came to the meeting, I looked at her, I was like, man, she looked familiar. I swear she did. But no, not at all. But I know her mom and I know her dad, and it's weird because I remember when she was a little baby, and when she came in there, I'm like, man, I know her from somewhere. She started talking, I said, okay, now I know where you get it from. So with no further ado, this lady right here is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You guys give it up for Alasia.
How's it going, y'all?
Going good.
How y'all feeling today?
Real good.
Y'all don't feel that good, huh?
Yes, I do.
How y'all feeling today?
Real good.
I think y'all can get a little louder than that. I said, how y'all feeling today?
Woo!
There we go, there we go, there we go. All right, y'all, so some of you may know me, some of you may have not, but I'm gonna just start telling y'all from the beginning why I've been out here since day one. Oh, day two. I wasn't with that looting either. I wasn't there. I missed it. But I was on my way to Target at Jansen Beach. And I'm looking around and they boarding up the Target. And I'm like, well, what's going on? And they're like, they looted downtown. They're scared. They're boarding up the Targets, the black people. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Let me go see what's going on downtown. Unlike some people, I'm not that scared. But when I got down there, I seen what was going on. and it was a peaceful protest. It was peaceful. There was thousands of us, and it was peaceful. And we out here, and they were demanding stuff. They were consistently out there for about 2 weeks. Y'all remember? Y'all remember what happened downtown? Because I've been out there every single day pretty much. I had to start giving myself a break. And those people who were out there for every single day realized after about day 40 that they was real tired. Real tired. But we got more people that continued to show up. And you know why they continued to show up? Because the police shot that boy in the head. They shot him in the head on a night where there was maybe 20 people there talking about we're rioting. 20 people? I don't think so. Then we reinvigorated and everyone wanted to show back up again. And we said that we were going to take control of the narrative, right? So we need to do that. We need to put forth the effort to take control of the narrative. It can't just be us. You got to tell somebody and tell somebody else and tell somebody else that we are peaceful protests. Take control of that. You let them control the media. We don't control the media. We control the narrative, though. They can say what they want to. But if we continue telling them that this is a peaceful protest, one, it's going to make our message a lot stronger. But also, I noticed that the protests, at least here in Portland, have started to become about, oh, cops are bastards. I can't stand hearing that shit. Because, yes, there may be some bad cops the same way that they think there's some bad protesters out there, right? They can understand that. But we aren't here to just fight the cops. I need y'all to understand that. I need my white brothers and sisters to understand that. This fight is not just against the cops. So if you are out there spreading that narrative, first and foremost, cut it out. First and foremost. Y'all are stealing our narrative. And it is not just about how we are fighting for justice reform. Not all cops are bastards, but justice reform. We are also fighting for education. We are also fighting because our ancestors back in 1965 fought for the right to vote. So we are fighting for that Voting Rights Act of 1965 to be our right because they fought for that. They died for that. I didn't see Bull Connor downtown. Did y'all? Do y'all know who Bull Connor is?
No.
Educate yourself. No. We're out here fighting for our right to vote. We're out here fighting for education. We're out here fighting for money to go back into our black neighborhoods and not gentrification that has happened. I had a grandmama that lives on Alberta and one that lived on Mississippi. Okay? My grandma who lived on Alberta happened to be a Portland public teacher with a union job, so she could actually afford to stay there. But my grandma who lived on Mississippi got pushed out. We done been living as the SEI for almost 20 years now. Tell me that ain't right. How they just gonna buy out the house that was our family home? It ain't right. Till this day, I have a cousin who's fighting to get that house back because she can't stand that we had to move. Because that's where we grew up. In our neighborhoods, before it got gentrified, before people started taking over, before we felt like our voices mattered even less than they already did. Y'all gonna kick us out of our homes? Come on now. But I love the energy. I love that everyone is mad about something. But focus that energy. Focus that energy into what really matters, which is voting. If we don't all get out to vote, we are wasting our damn time. All of this is a waste of time. We can complain, we can chant, we can sing songs, and we can make our demands, but those demands will not be met if we do not vote the right people in. I want to know, clap if you actually participated in your local election back in May. I don't know how y'all gonna vote Loretta in if y'all are part of that voting. How are we gonna sit here and to make these demands and not show up to the polls? If you can show up to a protest, you can show up to the polls.
I love it.
You got time to play 2K every day? You got time to get informed about your local government. because that's what really matters. None of this is effective if we do not turn out at the polls. And for some of y'all in Oregon, you've already missed it. For Washingtonians, you have a short deadline until it's time for you to be registered to vote. So if you are not registered to vote, you need to get registered to vote. Because all these people out here are not for us if you are not voting. Period. You are not for yourself. Your silence is violence against yourself, black people, if you are not showing up to those polls. If we do not turn out like we turn out at these protests. Because that's what really matters. That's where we're going to see the systematic change that we are demanding. So take the time to get informed about your local government. All the stuff that you can make the time for in your day-to-day basis, you can make the time to learn something new about your local government. Because if you are not informed, you are not aware. And there's a lot of stuff we are not aware of, y'all. There's a lot. Me, myself, when I gave my first speech, maybe 2 months back, the guy who happened to be in the crowd was the chairman of the 49th District of Democratic Policy in Vancouver, where I live now, because we got pushed out, but where I live, and he asked me to join the Board of Executives. That day, I got involved in my local government because I took the time to actually know a bit of information, spread that information. Somebody saw me who knew something that he could help me out with and asked me to come join. That's how it works. That's how simple it can be if you just take the time. Ask the questions. You do not care about this if you do not show up in November. I'm telling y'all that because that's what matters. That's how we see the change. There's someone in your neighborhood that you don't like. There's a cop that's consistently trolling your neighborhood. There are ways for you to figure out who that cop is. There are ways for you to start getting informed and let your voice be heard so that you can give suggestions as to what you think should be done in your neighborhood. There are ways for you to run to be a precinct community officer in your neighborhood, but you're not aware because you do not ask the right questions. So we need to start making ourselves more aware. If you ain't asking the right questions, and we all wasting our time. This is just fun and games. This is just something to do because we're supposed to be on lockdown. No. And since we are supposed to be on lockdown, if you are sitting in the house every day and you are unemployed, there is absolutely no excuse.
That's right.
But with that being said, I have voter registration tables. So if you're not registered to vote, feel free. There's going to be one at Geneva's as we're marching. There's also going to be one at Peninsula to get registered to vote. Because that's what we really out here. We got to be able to vote in these senators to show up, these House representatives to show up. If we are not all informed, if we are not all getting informed every single day, you can take 20 minutes out of your day to learn something new about your local government, to learn something new about a policy that William Barr is trying to pass. Because he doesn't care about your voting rights. He does not care about your constitutional rights, period. Just get informed about what's going on. Trump's coming after weed if y'all care about that. But you wouldn't know because you don't take the time to figure it out. People who want to be with the things that we care about here in Portland, he's trying to come for the weed, y'all. Like, come on. But if you wouldn't know that if you don't look it up. There are so many things that are being ripped from right underneath us, that are being taken away from us. If you think you ain't got nothing now, you don't even know what they're trying to take from you that you are not aware of. And one thing that they have not taken and that they cannot do is suppress your voice if you are registered to vote. Because they doing that in other places. This in Oregon. We have vote by mail. There's no excuse. When those other places in the South where they're trying to shut down all the voting stations so that everybody got to go vote at the same place so that everybody can start fighting and not want to vote. Trump has invested over $20 million into stopping this election. You better find out. You better find out how he is trying to come for your rights more than just the ones that you are aware of. But if you don't take the time to get informed, if you spend all day doing your makeup and playing video games and whatnot, you're wasting your time. I appreciate everyone showing up here because I feel like the people who showed up here are the people who took the time to at least get informed about the movements going on, to at least know what they support, Black lives. If you feel like that's important and if you believe that that's important, if you say You saying that you about it, but if you really about it, I need the same energy on election day. I need the same energy. We have till November. The last day to get registered to vote here in Oregon, is October 13th. So mark your calendars, because you can do it today. We got barcodes for you to be able to scan. We got the number for you to text if you want to just text the number to get registered to vote. I didn't take the time to write all of that down for y'all. But I need y'all to take the time to write some stuff down for yourself that matters to you, so that when you get in front of a camera or when you're asked to be on to do an interview, you know what you're going to demand. If you really care about Black Lives Matter, start getting involved in your local government. Start showing up to your local city council meetings. Find out when these things are, because you could let your voice be heard in these ways. But we aren't aware of these things. So until we all start becoming more aware, this is pointless. So let's bring the focus back to where it really needs to be, while we're all coming together, and so that we can all take the same energy to the polls in November. November is when we're really going to make the change and really show that Black Lives Matter, because we're going to vote in people that are actually going to represent the demands of Black Lives Matter. You can't vote them in if you don't do the research. Take the time to do your own research. I know it sucks, but go to Washington.gov, go to Oregon.gov, figure out who these people are and who you like to vote for, so that way, when day comes for us to show up to the polls, you know exactly what you're voting for. You know exactly who you're voting for. You know exactly what that measure was about. You know exactly which city council member you like and which one you don't. Because that's how we've gotten to where we are today in Portland. If you don't like the way it looks, vote to change that. Because they definitely voted for the changes that have taken place. That's all I'm saying. We can sit here and protest all we want, but if we don't put in the representatives to get our work done, then we are wasting our time, y'all. And that's all I really got to say. But leading off into this, I want to say, as someone who went to King Elementary in kindergarten and has attended Portland public schools, they need more money. We demanded $50 million. They gave, we demanded for the $50 million to be defunded from the police and allocated to other places within our community. They only did 15. That's one. That's not what we demanded, because they're trying to play us. Two, Joanne Hardestein, one of our city council members, said that we had the audacity to ask for $50 million to be reallocated. The audacity. We had the audacity. Us Black people had the audacity to ask for some money to be put back into our communities, into our schools. When we built this country, we had the audacity. No, sis, you had the audacity to not fight for our demands. You had the audacity. We deserve anything good that's coming to us, because we didn't put in all the work, all the blood, all the sweat, all the tears to get here. So yes, we got the audacity to ask for whatever we demand from this country, because we have the right to. And we're going to keep doing that until we see those changes implemented. That's how we keep this march continuing. That's how we keep this going, until we see the actual change. That's when we let up. But until then, we're going to continue that. Because I know for a fact, from going to a private school in Portland that I happen to be lucky enough to go to for free, that was ran by E.D. Monday, and who's now the leader of the Portland NAACP. I went to that private school for free. And I noticed the difference when I transferred to a public school, because I was 2 years ahead of everybody. So you cannot tell me, as a kid who has been through the pipeline, that these schools don't need more money. You cannot tell me, as I found out things in college that I felt like they should have taught me in middle school. Revisionist history that they taught me in elementary school. Things that I only would have known had I not gotten a scholarship to go to school in the first place, because I damn sure was too broke to pay for it. My parents were. But it takes the time. I took the time. You can take the time, too, to get involved in your local government. Now I get to put my little 2 cents in on my little committee, but so can you. Because one thing is, there are white people who are for us, and I appreciate y'all. Because everybody who's on that committee is white. And they said, bring your friends. And I thought about it. I said, man, I really don't know much of black people that care too much about this if they're not just working in politics. So I need all of us to start taking the time to do our research, to put in our voice. It can't just be me in the boardrooms. We all need to be in the boardrooms, in the courtrooms, in these places where they're making decisions for us without us. Y'all want to sit there and complain, but we are not in the room. I'm the only black person in that room. Anything Black Lives Matters, they look at me. I don't speak for all of us. I don't have the same experiences as every single one of you. So as the white people, I would just say, if you are a white ally, I encourage you. Yes, I'm glad that you guys are down with it, but I encourage you to start putting more information about local government on your signs so that you can spread that information to your brothers and sisters. Because I'm telling you that as someone who knows. I know we don't care about this stuff, but we have to start. It don't sound that fun, but if you could take 20 minutes again to play 2K, to do your makeup, to do the things that you like to do, you can take 20 minutes to find out something more about your local government, to find out how you are going to stop the very thing that you don't like yourself. Don't worry about the next person to do it for you. You have to take the time to do it yourself. I never would have thought that I'd be giving my 2 cents had I not stepping up and spoke up in the first place. Black lives matter. Black kids matter. Black education matters.
Yes. Yes, yes.
And with that being said, I'm going to give the mic back to Love, but then I'm going to lead us into some chants. Because we're going to get this popping the right way, and it ain't just about how all cops are bastards. It's about so much more. So we're going to start taking that narrative back. First of all, this whole march, I don't want to hear it. We are not just here for that. We are here for education. We are here for justice reform. We are here because our lives matter, not just because we are fighting with them too. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So when I say Black Lives Matter, after that I'm gonna say, what are we gonna do? And y'all are gonna say vote. That's the new chant, okay? Y'all gonna say vote. That's how we really see the changes in the education. We see the changes in our neighborhood. We see the money going back into these black businesses and these black communities through our vote, through our voices, through being able to be unified as one so that we can vote in the representatives who take the time to show up to our protests. Y'all feel me?
Yeah.
All right then. Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
What are we gonna do?
Vote!
What are we gonna do?
Vote!
That sounds good, y'all. Y'all sound ready? Y'all sound ready?
Y'all give her another hand.
Yes!
You know what? We got a couple more speakers and we're gonna get on this walk. But I want to say, it damn sure feels good to see these young black women and young black men that knows what they're talking about, not seeing them on TV twerking, not seeing them on TV shooting each other. You know, like, that is not all us. So I'm glad I can. So for the people, for the people that were going to speak before we leave, I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak at Peninsula. We got one more person who's going to say something. This is very important that this young lady comes up here and say this. When I got word of this, I got so angry because this is my sister right here. We didn't come from the same mom or dad, but this is my ace boom coon. Come on up here, Kiki. This is the one who put Ted Wheeler in his place on national TV. So I was there when she told him, Ted, if you don't do what we're asking, you know me, I'm Kiki. I'm gonna come knock on your door because I know where you live. She told that man that on the news. So we're gonna listen to her and we're gonna get going and we're gonna tear these streets up. Not literally, but vocally and with our feet. All right.
So first of all, if you can hear me in the back, say Black education matters.
Black education matters.
Okay, I just want to make sure y'all hear me. I already got a loud voice. So I'm not going to talk a lot because I'm ready to march. And I know y'all ready to march. Y'all ready to march?
Yeah.
All right. So as Love said, I've been downtown. I talked to Ted Wheeler a couple of times. But this last time, I really talked about the school-to-prison pipeline. As you guys know, that's the #1 funded system right now, not here in just Oregon, but in the United States. Once kids do not get an education, they are 3 times higher to be in the justice system. Due to there being no school right now, are we noticing a lot of crime? Right. That's because these kids aren't getting educated. So now it is your responsibility to educate these kids. Now, that's what I've been talking about. And for some reason, some people don't like it. But guess what? I'm not going to stop talking about it. But what I want to do is give you guys some energy, give you some motivation, so that when you guys are marching, you're not quiet. When you are marching, that you're actually feeling and understanding what me, as an African-American person, wake up every morning. If you are a Black person, raise your hand. Our skin tone don't come off. We wake up like this, we go to sleep like this, we eat like this, we go to the bathroom like this. This is us. Okay? For all those that think there is no racism, let me show you that there is. Now I know there's kids out here, so I'm gonna just apologize ahead of time, but I'm literally gonna read this word for word, okay? I was downtown, I spoke about the school to prison pipeline, and literally 3 days later, this is what came to my house. Dear nigger, I saw your nigger, I'm gonna start over, the B. Dear nigger, I saw your nigger ass on KGW wanting niggers to have their own education system, LMAO. You niggers can't even wipe your ass, and now you want to run the schools? Dream on. You stupid niggers, never gonna happen. Reparation never happened either. Ha ha ha. You niggas deserve nothing. I love it when the cops kill goddamn niggers. Niggers' lives don't matter. I know exactly where you live too, nigger. I plan coming to your house and blowing your fucking head off with my AR-15, LMAO. Don't cry or call the defunding Portland police or that white man Ted Wheeler, or else you'll pay. Once again, I wake up like this, I go to sleep like this, I eat like this. I will never stop talking until my Black people have exactly what we deserve. So if you are with me, when we are walking down MLK going to Peninsula Park, I need you to be loud and saying, Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black education matters.
Black education matters.
And this is going to stop today. When is it going to stop?
Today.
All of you guys out here are changed. And just imagine if we connect with one person, exactly how big of this change can happen here in Portland, Oregon. So when we walk, y'all think about this letter, because it ain't about just me. They're talking about every Black person that's out here talking. So for example, Sam, Amaya, Alasia, Love, every single Black person that is downtown on the front line, every single Black person that is speaking for Black Lives Matter, that's what this letter is about. And guess what? I'm not going to be quiet, so I expect y'all not to be quiet. Black Lives Matter?
Black Lives Matter.
So now you understand
Jesus
why I was
Christ.
so angry. Because they're attacking, first of all, he, she, or whoever it was, is attacking a woman. That's not cool. I'd rather for them to say it to my face, which they're not going to do. They're going to hide behind their pen. They're going to hide behind their phone. They're going to hide behind their computer and send death threats. When I saw that letter, I wasn't born then, but it took me back to the 50s and 60s with the threats. But I want her to know she good. We got her back.
We got your back.
My brother Jelani and his people got her back.
We got
So
your
she
back.
don't have to worry about nothing. So with further ado, This is the last speaker we're going to get out of here. The Honorable Miss Loretta Smith.
Y'all look good.
Want to get up closer? I got a stick.
Did you hear me? I said y'all look good.
Thank you.
My name's Loretta Smith, and I want to thank the young sis for calling me out. Yes, I'm running for Portland City Council, so I want to hear you call my name. Can you say Loretta Smith?
Loretta Smith.
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 What do we care about? Justice. What do we care about?
Justice.
What do we care about?
Justice.
Who do we care about?
Lives.
Whose lives matter?
Black lives matter.
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 That's right. Vote me into Portland City Council and Black lives will matter. We need to change. We need to fight. And when I fight, I win. When I fight, I win. We have to go from protest to policy. When I fought at the county for summer jobs, I went from 25 to 650 jobs. We won. Those jobs have now been cut in half. So who do we need? Loretta Smith. Who do we need?
Loretta Smith.
That's right, we need to vote. And if y'all not registered, we got a vote coming on August 11th. If you're not registered, you can't vote this time. But if you are registered, vote for Loretta Smith, because I do have the audacity. I do have the audacity, and I have already asked for $50 million for police reform. I have asked Ted Wheeler to take away the rubber bullets, to take away the tasing, to take away the chokeholds. So I matter. I need you all to put me into City Hall. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? We're gonna vote. Thank you. And I want to thank Anthony for pulling this together today.
You were amazing.
This is a big, heavy lift.
Get your
And
name
bro,
so we could learn a little about you. A bunch of people on my stream are like, who was that? Thrilling. So could you introduce yourself just one more time?
My name's
Not only I did it, but my team
Anisha Atkins?
did it too.
Alasia Atkins. Wonderful speech. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Dre, where you at, Dre? You around here?
Alasia Atkins.
Dre. Y'all got y'all walking shoes on?
Yeah.
All right. Y'all drink a lot of tea?
No. I
We're
drink
gonna
water.
lose our voice out here today. Believe that. So my man Dre is gonna give everybody instructions on the route that we're going and where we're gonna meet at. Also, Marte, where you at, bro? Okay. Any young youth out there, we need you on the front line. We got a banner that we want only the youth to hold. So if there's any youth out there that want to be part of this march, come up to the front. That's 13 and up. I'm sorry. 13 and up. You have to be tall enough. It's like a carnival ride. You guys can come. Come on. Come on. Anybody else? We need all the youth that's it's possible. Marte.
Let's see if we can find some protest pups real quick.
Yeah, let's go right, baby.
So my man Dre right here is going to give everybody directions where we're going, what route we're taking. So leave it in the hands of my guy.
First off, I appreciate all y'all that came out today. This is beautiful. It's really beautiful. It took us about a month and a half to get this all organized. A lot of sweat and tears and disagreements and stuff like that, but this is beautiful right here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have the youth get over there on that side. We're gonna want them on that side. we're going to have everybody that's facing this way, everybody's going to turn around. So if you're on this side, you're going to be at the end of the march. If you're on that side, you're going to be at the beginning of the march. We're going to have the truck go around the block. We already got our parameters set. We're going to go down Grand and take a left on Alberta, and then we're going to take a right on MLK. So everybody get in position. We're going to get the kids up front. I'm going to head towards the front, and I'm going to have the sign already set up.
Take just a minute and oh, can I get a picture of your dog? It's actually on my stream, so it's not a picture, but protest pups. Can I say hi? Yeah. Hello, protest pupper. Hello, protest pup. Protest pups are everything. Hello, may I say hello? Thank you, pupper. Thank you, protest pup. Hello. Oh, you smell all my dogs. Ah, cute little thing. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Good job, protest pup. Be safe today. Thank you.
The love of God. Abraham.
That's right.
He's like, whoa, I smell 3 on you. Plus 7 cats. With foster for the Humane Society. So we got a constant stream. Oh my God. Hello. Hey Brandy, you watching? Can I get a check-in from you?
Hold on, I got
All right. Ah, the no pity, please. Thank you truck is out. Oh, those are great shirts.
Company Graphics made it. They all the proceeds go to different Black Lives Matter groups and things like that.
Graphletics?
Yep, Graphics.
G-R-A-P-H?
Yep.
Fantastic. Oh, Graphletics. And they're pushing it to different people.
Yeah, I think this right now the round of these shirts are going towards hands up, don't shoot.
Hands up, don't shoot.
Yep.
Nice.
The first round with the NAACP.
Do you mind if I talk to you on the stream for just a second, while we're walking?
No problem.
How do you think it's going?
I think it's going well, man. You know, this is needed. I've had the privilege of speaking all around the state at different rallies, from Hillsborough to Eugene to everywhere. We did a big one in Happy Valley. 5,000 people came out.
Holy crap, 5,000?
Yeah, my daughter threw that one on. My 20-year-old daughter threw that one on.
Do you mind if I put you on camera?
Sure, good.
What's your name?
Deshaun Hardy.
Deshaun Hardy?
Deshaun
Hardy?
Yeah.
Very nice to meet you. I'm Justin Dunlap. It's just friends and family.
No, you're good.
I got like 11 people watching right now. So 5,000 people out in Happy Valley.
People came to Happy Valley. We did a march there about 4 weeks ago. Did some Estacada stuff. I did some Hillsborough stuff, Portland stuff here. So I'll be speaking actually when we get to the peninsula as well. So,
oh, nice, nice, very cool.
I think this is, it's good to see the community come together and the diversity of it. I think it's dope. So,
yeah, that's a good lot of people.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So, what's one thing you wish that you could get out to all the people that maybe nobody thinks about, or you're not going to say in your speech?
It's a good one. I've been saying so much. I think, one of the things is just to make sure that just to educate yourself, and make sure that what is happening, so many people can get caught up in wanting to help and do, make sure it's done for us, not to us.
Fantastic.
And I think that's a great thing, make sure that, hey, I'm trying to help, and you can get so excited about helping, but sometimes it can be done to us and not really for us. So make sure that that's the goal, as we can all, get this equity piece together.
Dashawn, thank you for your time.
Sir.
Appreciate you,
it. Yeah,
friend.
have a good one.
You too. Be safe.
You too.
Oh, there's a protest pupper. I met that protest pupper earlier, but he is a service dog and just working. I cannot say hi to that one. All right, so I'm gonna take just a minute over here before the march starts. Say hi to you guys. So, I started out, for those of you who found me over there on Haps today, I started out on that today, but it just wasn't working for me. I couldn't see you guys. I couldn't see your chats. I couldn't see what you guys were saying, and that was scary. I didn't like it. I missed you guys, you little democracy field trippers. Not only that, but from what I hear, the sound quality was not very good and the video quality wasn't very good. So anybody who was watching that, leave a little comment. I nodded off, yay! And you're hysterical. Paw Patrol. There's another Dunlap streamer in the crowd, Brandy. I saw him just a minute ago. I was like, that looks like, oh my God, it is. And I think you know who I'm talking about. It's the only one, Seth. It's Seth. I saw Seth in the crowd. He hadn't said anything to me yet. I don't know if he saw me or not. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, weird. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna go back to Haps, but we'll give it another shot maybe. They don't have landscape. I don't like that. I can't see my Facebook live chats. Oh no, somebody left a football. I hope they come back for that. Oh my gosh. I can't see y'all's chats. I don't have landscape. Their chat like takes up the whole entire thing, so I can't see what I'm shooting very well. And I heard they have a big old bar that takes up the top of the screen, and that's where, you know, a lot of times that's the portion of the screen you want the shot in. So I'm like, I just don't know. I don't know what to do about that one. Brandy, who? Who's the only other Dunlap streamer you know? "6'8" is on the premises. So I'm gonna have a little ciggy off of school grounds, and then join in on the back of this thing. It's a good crowd. Let's get out of the sun for a minute. Oh dang. On a blacktop in the sun. Couldn't I find a shady place? A cute little neighborhood. I like it. It was terrible, like super terrible. Hi, Mom. Well, then I'm glad I dipped off of that. And I'll have to give them some feedback. Let them know, see if they can fix things. But it doesn't do me any good. So I don't really care. Man, that is one tagged up truck. Looks like they're staging it over there. That was a thick crew. None of that. Peaceful. Whoa, roller boy. The roller kids on patrol, that's awesome. Have not tried Periscope, man. Can you link that to go live on your Facebook at the same time? I'm not trying to get people to download a bunch of apps. Like my 70-year-old aunt was watching me last night, so I don't think she knows Periscope at all. Ah, Mom, I will stay safe for sure. Especially today. I got this one. Then there's a fireman's one. And then downtown there's a Union Solidarity join in. So all the different unions march in at the same time with the Moms United for Black Lives. We gonna be alright, but I don't own the rights to that music. We don't own the rights. And you nodded off. You cracked me up. I said that already, but that was funny. Oh man. Like, thank God it's not 100 degrees out here. It cracks me up that we got the roller skate kids. Where's the Union Solidarity thing? Starting at 9:30 tonight, I think. I want to say it might be 8:30. Down at the Salmon Fountain, Salmon Street, where Salmon Street and NATO meet. Everybody joins up, and then like 3 big gaggles. The Moms Unified for Black Lives, the dads, and Union Solidarity Night with like the Plumbers Union, all the electricians, IBEW, Teamsters, a whole bunch of people were there last week. Necessary trouble. I love that sign. Got the medics. Good to see the medics in case anybody twists an ankle. Gets a blister on their toe. Protest pupper. I have not met this protest pupper yet. The protest pup. Hello.
Black Lives Matter!
Hello, protest pupper. Oh, what's a good protest pup. It says, hello, I'm a protest pup. I'm here to protest. My black life matters. Hello, I'm a black dog. I'm with you protesting. I'm very, very happy about it. Look at me wagging my tail. He's not wagging his tail so much. Hello, hello. Oh, it's totally cool. Is it a she?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a she protest pup. Hello, she protest pup. Gender knows no bounds in the protest. Hello, I'm protesting with you. I'm protesting Papa Doo. on the walk. Oh, there's another protest pup right in front of me. I've got all the protest pups. Wait, the leash says adopt me. Is he foster?
This is our foster dog, yes.
That's your foster dog?
Yep.
Hello.
Bubba from Texas.
Bubba from Texas?
Yes.
Hello, Bubba from Texas. You're a beautiful protest pup. Anybody in the area that wants to adopt a Bubba the protest pup?
He's with Agave Dogs.
Agave Dogs?
Yes.
Nice. All three of our dogs have gotten through the Humane Society of Southwest Washington. We foster for them.
Oh, cool.
My wife is a specialist with bottle babies.
In what?
In bottle babies?
Oh, really?
So, like, we have a 7-day-old kitten right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Good job. Thank you for fostering.
Black Lives Matter!
The protest pup game is strong today, democracy field trippers.
Black
Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
They kind of outdoing you up front. Don't let them do you.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. I love the rural America for Black Lives Matter. Love this. Yes, yes, yes. See? It's not just a city thing, kids. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter. Yes. Hello. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter!
It seems like a really cool song.
Black Lives Matter! 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 Black Lives Matter!
Out on the porch saying how do you do. Black Lives Matter. Avoid the honey buckets. Black Lives Matter. God us bless Black lives. Yes, God us bless. Yes. I'm gonna get in front of this Wings banner. See what it is. And I have found another protest pub.
Breonna Taylor was taking the sleep that she needed to go back to work the next day and be a healthcare worker in a COVID crisis. Breonna Taylor was killed in her home while the police were executing a warrant for someone they had already arrested 2 hours earlier. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, who shot at the people who used a no-knock warrant to break into his house, was charged with murdering his own girlfriend. Say her name. Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
Let's switch it up. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
George Floyd was killed after someone kneeled on his neck for 8 minutes and some odd seconds, and he died. That someone was a police officer. Listen to Sam. We're gonna continue this education in a bit.
Hey, let's walk around this way.
Black education matters. Found a new friend, the protest pup. Oh, hello, another protest pupper. He was pooping. We did not need to see pooping protest puppers.
Stay together, stay tight. Stay together, stay tight. Stay together, stay tight. Stay together, stay tight.
Can I say hello to your dog? Hello, good protest pup. Hello, hello. May I say hello? Oh, good protest pup. Hello. Thank you very much, protest pupper dog, for letting me say hello. Have a great protest pupper dog.
The hard work starts now. Let me hear you say it. The hard work starts now.
Hard work starts now.
Hard work starts now.
The hard work starts now.
Hard work starts now.
The hard work starts now.
Hard work starts now.
The hard work starts now.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black kids matter.
Black kids matter.
Black kids matter.
Black kids matter.
Black education matters.
Now I'm thinking about
Black education matters.
Black education matters.
What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
Vote.
Black kids matter.
Black kids matter.
Black kids matter.
Black kids matter.
Man, this is beautiful. Oh my God. Hey, give yourselves a round of applause, please.
Black education matters.
Black education matters.
In the pipeline.
In the pipeline.
In the pipeline.
In the pipeline.
Since we're here around the police station, let me say, what do we want? Justice reform. Y'all say justice reform. Then when I say, what do we want? Y'all say now. Alrighty? So we in here in front of their house. We're gonna let them know too. What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
In the pipeline.
In the pipeline.
In the pipeline.
In the pipeline.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
No justice, no
No
peace.
peace.
No racist
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Sad for this world that was built off hate. I just want me loved, know you want the same. Got brothers and got sisters.
I don't
all
own
different
rights
race.
to this
And we
music.
all bleed red, so all bleed red. I wish that people could see, try to understand. Have each other's backs when one takes a stand. Cause I'll be there for you when you need a hand. Cause we all bleed red, so we all bleed red. Yeah, listen to my ego. They controlling how I think.
There's a protest puffer dog.
Now they blind on both sides, but they really need to go both ways.
Protest puffer dog.
Make me understand
representing us. So, as I see these officers and I see these faces,
Afternoon, sir. All right, you doing well? Be safe today, sir. Oh, I met these protest pups earlier. They're such excellent puppers.
Put your fist in the air. Everybody, put your fist in the air. How y'all feeling? You tired yet? No. I said, are you tired yet? No. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
lives matter.
What you gonna do?
Oh.
What you gonna do?
Vote.
What you gonna do?
Vote. Can I take a video of your protest pup? Look at this beautiful guy. He says it's service dog, do not pet. I'm not gonna pet that service doggy, no way. Yeah, Black Lives Matter, yes. Black education matters.
In the pipeline.
In the pipeline.
Black kids matter.
Black kids matter.
Black kids matter.
Black kids matter.
So, for all of you who are not registered to vote, like I said, we got stops on the way. You can stop right here. She's waving her hand right here. Janine's in the parking lot. So if you want to register to vote, please do. Please do.
I got both voter registrations for you. By all means, go get registered to vote.
Oregon or Washington.
We got the QR codes if you're too lazy to fill out the papers. And we got tips to show you where you can print off your registration papers if you do not have a printer.
Now this is a true democracy field trip.
So go get registered to vote because black votes matter.
Black votes matter.
Black education matters.
Black education matters.
In the pipeline.
In the pipeline.
What are we gonna do?
Vote.
What are we gonna do?
Vote.
What are we gonna do?
Vote.
Are we gonna vote in Loretta Smith? Yeah?
We're going to vote for Loretta Smith? Damn right.
You can't do that if we don't register. By all means, make your stop. You gotta make your stop. Make your stop. Be careful, y'all. We're going to truck here. The front of the truck here, right?
Oh my God, such a good job.
Black lives matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black education matters.
Black education matters.
What are we gonna do?
Vote.
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 Black education matters.
Black education matters.
Black votes matter.
Black votes matter.
Black kids matter.
are here in the community. We exist. The people that they have not killed are still here, and we carry that trauma with us. We carry it every day. No matter how good the day is going, no matter if I just got a new zucchini, it's as big as my arm, I'm still upset every day. When my 2.5-year-old daughter says a new word and learned how to say Papa, I cry because she said Papa and because I was able to be there. Because a lot of people I know fathers can't be there. And a lot of times it's because of the police. If you look at 73% of the prison population in the United States, black and brown people, Latinos and black people, we make up 23% of the population. This shit is real. Defund the police. Louder. Defund the police. Let me hear you in the front. Defund the police. 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 Because Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Got that thing in your car.
Y'all tired?
Says the lady carrying a kid. You're like, no, yes, God. Oh yeah, tell him to send me a friend request and I'll let him join the chats. If he's a friend of yours and you got a protest pup, then he must be a friend of mine. That way you can join the chats. Just remember, it's a Zen chat room. Woosah. No drama in the jiggy chats. Popeye's chicken smells so good right now.
What would happen in a system where it doesn't matter your area code to the amount of money that goes to these schools? If we stop funding officers to be in these schools and start putting more money in counselors in these schools, we don't have systems to uplift those without. We only have a system to put those without down. I'm sick of looking at the faces of our youth. I'm sick of going out to the Justice Center, to these marches, and seeing so many beautiful faces that are ready to fight, that are ready to stand up. And the system say, they don't count. They're the margin. Their voices don't need to be heard. Your voices need to be heard. It's time for us to stop giving our money to systems that oppress us. So that's why we gotta vote. That's why we gotta sit up here and pay attention to the leaders that are stepping into these roles. Because Ted Wheeler made a bunch of promises that he ain't fucking keep. Ted Wheeler made promises to this man right here that he didn't fucking keep. The police union was supposed to be defunded. The police union was supposed to sit up here and give money back
But instead, what did we get this year? A fucking tax increase. That's another 2.1% going to them from every, is it Oregonian or is it Portland? So every Oregonian, I can't do this anymore. I can't sit up here and stay silent while they sit up here and take from us, and then sit up here and say, I'm sorry there's no money for your schools. I'm sorry, the cops need more munitions. The thing is, yes, there is violence in our streets. Yes, there is stuff going on in Portland that we do need to solve. But this isn't the fucking Watts. This ain't fucking downtown Detroit. So why the fuck are we militarizing our fucking police? Well, right now we're peaceful as fuck, and we just asking for a crumb. Fuck asking for a crumb. I'm good asking for a crumb. We need real substance. Because that's the thing, we've been starving and sitting up here making shit work with barely anything. And then they question us on, hey, why can't your community lift itself up by its bootstraps? You know, they tried to sit up here in a bullshit effort to pacify us, paint Black Lives Matter in front of City Hall. They'd rather sit up here and pay $1,000 to paint Black Lives Matter in front of City Hall. Instead of sitting up here, putting that to a salary in a school to sit up here and help a counselor reach this youth, to get another kid to fucking college. They start these fucking art programs to sit up here and paint on boards downtown, to pacify us, to make us like, oh, ain't that pretty? Another black fist in front of a racist establishment to sit up here and say, hey, black people, we hear you. Hey, community, we hear you. I don't feel like they hear us. I feel like we need to fucking scream this from the mountaintop. Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Now, I know some of y'all kind of know for this, but how many of y'all have ever heard of the Summer of Love? Yo, the Summer of Love was for white people. 1967 was a long, hot summer. 159 violent riots against the police. Protests that they called riots against the police. They called it the Summer of Love. Both black and white people died. When we sit up here and talk about education, how many of you knew about the long hot summer?
Not enough.
Not that many. We all know about the Summer of Love. We all know the education system that they sit up here and feed us, or sorry, give us misinformation to sit up here and dictate a narrative. So when we sit up here and miseducate our people on our history, how the fuck can we learn from our history? Just stay here when the music starts, all right?
I'm black and I'm proud. I'm black and I'm proud. I ain't hear nobody say it. That's what I'm saying. I'm black and I'm proud.
We gotta make some noise, y'all. We were walking way too silent. We were walking way too silent. If y'all hear the song that's playing up front, it's James Brown, I'm Black and I'm Proud, right? And so all of us need to be proud about who we are. Just because I'm building my castle does not mean I'm tearing down yours.
Yes.
That's
what I'm talking about.
We all have to have pride in who we are. But as we go and as we grow, we gotta understand that we have the power to rewrite history. We are changing the history books. And so I need you guys, man, to let this. I need a good Black Lives Matter for y'all, man. Y'all ready? All right. When I get to, I need everybody to hear it. Black Lives Matter!
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 So we get these fists in the air, and we gonna party on the way there. Y'all ready to party?
Yeah!
Black Lives Matter!
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 Black
Black Lives
Lives Matter!
Matter! I want us to say it so loud, everybody in these houses come on their porch. Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
So if y'all don't know, I throw parties for a living, so that's what we about to do. Y'all ready to party? Make some noise! Let's go! We gotta fight the system! We gotta fight the power! Because the power is with us! We are the difference makers! We are the ones in charge! Let's go! Get
the protest. This is where the party at. If you didn't hear him, he said we throw hot tub parties for a living. That's awesome.
That's all we want you to give us what we want. And what we want is to be equitable. Let's be fair. Come on, fight the power. I need to hear y'all. Fight the power. Fight the power. We got to fight the powers that be. Beautiful. This is beautiful. Take this moment in, because we're making a difference and change is happening right now. Aha! They got the PE tattoo. Okay, they're coming on the porch, y'all. Working. Come on. Fight the power. All lives do not matter until Black Lives Matter. We have the power. The power is in the people. Let's celebrate, y'all. We're going to change the world. We're going to change the world. Fight the power!
That's that good protest bumper. Agave adoptions. Get that good little thing.
Anti-Wayne, talk about it. This is so beautiful, y'all. The world has their eyes on Portland, Oregon. We're about to change the world, each and every one of us. But let's keep fighting. Reallocate the power. Let's take the power back. The power is not in the system. The power is in the people. Let's go. Come on. Take the power back. Take the power back. If y'all having a good time, make some noise. Oh, yeah. Fight the power. Fight the power. Say it. Fight the power. Let's go. Fight the power. 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 We're the power. We're the power. Let's go. Oh yeah.
Murmur. Evidently, the rights to the music.
Hey, y'all, make some noise. Let's make some noise for change. Let's make some noise for tearing down the system and create the one that we want. Because the one that we have currently is not working for us. Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter! And you know I'm going to ask you what's the most important thing they do for Black Lives right now? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And what does that mean? Does that mean we're going to take money from the police and put that into place where we can reduce crime through taking care of our community? We are not trying to be lawless. We do not want to live in the slums, but the police keep us in the slums. The police create the slums by creating areas where people who cannot get jobs because they've been criminalized have nowhere else to live. And then if you can't afford to live anywhere else, you have to live there with them. So we defund the police so we can grow from the ground. We have to grow from the ground. The police are there to tax the fruit of their labor. Our job is to feed the fruit of our labor. We're going to defund the police and address the community. Defund the police. Defund the police. Defund the police. Defund the police. Because Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Take it to the streets, fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace.
Take it to the streets, defund the police. No justice, no peace.
Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Let's go. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to fund the police, no justice, no peace. Hold on. Let's slow it down. Ready. Take it to the streets to fund the police.
Take it to the streets, defund the police.
Take it to the streets to fund the police. Louder!
Take it to the streets, defund the police. No justice, no peace. It's the family-friendly version.
Take it to the streets to fund the police. Louder! Take it to the streets to fund the police. No justice, no peace. That's right. Take it to the streets to fund the police. No justice, no peace. Come on. Take it to the streets to fund the police. No justice, no peace. That's right. Take it to the streets to fund the police. No justice, no peace. Why? Because Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Whose lives matter? Black Lives Matter. I said, whose lives matter? Black Lives Matter. Come on. Black Lives Matter.
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 Whose lives matter?
Black Lives
I
Matter.
said, whose lives matter?
Black Lives
I
Matter.
said, whose lives matter?
Black Lives
I
Matter.
said, whose lives matter?
Black Lives Matter.
Black lives matter.
matter. Black lives matter. No justice. No peace. I said no justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No peace. No peace. We gotta go on this bus. Let's get loud. We about to get on justice. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
Right across the country was right across the street, just across the road guard. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Right across the no justice! No peace! No justice!
Sorry.
No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No racist! No justice! No racist!
It's like when you have a headache and you take a Tylenol, but you don't take a vaccine. To move the problem around. So think about that with every solution that offers you. Is this an offer of a solution that fits something? Or is this just waiting me out? Think about that when we go into this park. How much people are on the different? Are we all going to talk together? I'm here to represent the people and the ones of the people. It has never been about me. It has never been about any of us. It is always about all of us. And
the
those
mask
of us
makes
who
it
believe
harder.
that it's about all of us for a long time, but those of us who live along to forget that. And we forget the people that
I don't know about my step count, but my sweat count's up.
Sweat count is up. I'll put some calories back on the body.
Oh my god, that's a good one.
How's it going?
No justice! No justice!
No peace.
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 Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
Man, I hope they drove that truck up this to see if it'll work.
No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice!
Yes, please.
Water! Grab it. I gotta keep unloading.
Man, that was a hot walk. How we doing, field trippers? Play ball, you dickheads.
I'll come back though.
How you doing today? Need a bottle of wine for the day? We got you.
Okay. Yeah, but as soon as I leave here, I'm headed over there.
Keep going. Okay. Keep going. Okay. How y'all feeling out there?
Yeah!
Yeah. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing, man. And again, I want to thank everybody who volunteered, everybody who came out, my vendors. Make sure you guys spend some money with my vendors. I know Black Mannequin is out there, my man Brian, my man Exclusive from Stacking Kicks, my man Kevin out there with them fat ass Northeast Portland shirts. I don't know who else is out there. I don't know who it is, but thank y'all for coming. Got my man Alan over there selling snowballs and all that. You guys make sure you guys support everything over there, please. So you guys can sit down. I know y'all tired of walking. Sit down and take a rest.
Totally tired of walking.
Got my man Hitman half behind the ones and twos. My man right here, he never lets me down, man. He never tells me no. Well, sometimes he do, but he didn't tell me no today. Hey. Also, we want to give a big shout out to Portland Resistance Assistance. We want to thank them for supplying a lot of the water and food. We thank you guys. Thank you for your support. Man, I thank everybody here for their support. This couldn't have happened without you guys, man. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh yeah, I didn't know. My man Cool Nuts over there with his shirts too. I didn't see you over there, fam. My man Cool Nuts over I know I keep asking that question over and over again because I want everybody to have that same energy that they had at King and on the way here. I want everybody to have the same energy, man, because we're still fighting the same fight. So with no further ado, we're about to bring our first speaker up. This gentleman, I've been knowing him for a long, like everybody up here, I've been knowing for a long time, so I ain't gonna say that again. But this guy, when I asked him to come and speak, there was no hesitation. He was like, yeah, bro, I got you. So give it up for my man, Deshaun Hardy. You guys give him a hand. Hold on. COVID is rampant. Hold on.
Real talk.
Thanks, Lieber, for this little thing I got. Thank you, Lieber. Boom. Hey, what's up? Nah, that was good if I was getting our Starbucks card. What's up? Yeah, one time, let me make sure I'm in the right group. One time, 1, 2, 3, Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
All right, I'm in the right group. This is dope. Hey, man, give yourself a hand one time. Give yourself a big hand. Hey, shout out to the We Gonna Be All Right crew. Give them a hand.
We gonna be all right.
Give them a bigger hand than that. Yeah. It's not easy putting this stuff on, man. Love has probably got about 20 more gray hairs after this. He's good. All right, I'm Deshaun Hardy. This is a local dude, that's it. This is a dude that grew up in this community. And I'm just gonna speak to you from the heart. I'm not gonna yell at you. We gonna have a conversation, is that all right?
Yes.
But I'm gonna tell you on the side, I'm a preacher on the other side, so I like people to talk to me, or I feel like it's dead and we're not cool. This is the living room right now. It's the hood living room right now. In the hood living room. So somebody say, what's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
All right, that's good. All right, let's get on this. Black Lives Matter. That's what we're here for, right?
Yes, sir.
What we here for?
Black Lives Matter.
What we here for?
Black Lives Matter.
Boom. Now, we never said, and I saw somebody touch on it, we never said Black Lives Matter more. We never said we want them to matter the best. We just want them to matter. We just want to matter, period, across the board.
True.
Equity, equality, all that good stuff.
You know.
But when you talk and you see what's going on, I grew up with a father that was really instrumental, the late Pastor Hardy, that was instrumental in doing all kind of work. And I remember when Kendra James was shot in this same hood, down the street a little bit, he fought, he got talked about, and he said, son, I gotta fight because I gotta make it better for you. Who would have known 17 years later, he passed, and we still fighting? That makes no sense as black people. I heard a lady say earlier, I'm a 6'3", 215, 20-pound black guy, and she says you can be threatened because your size and because of my color. So when I get up every morning, I have to look in the mirror and say, my color is offensive to somebody. My size is offensive to somebody. And I gotta go out here and still maneuver in this world that's not full of black people. Does that make sense? Yeah. I gotta walk into Nordstroms and feel uncomfortable because they watch me and they follow me because I'm a black man. But little do they know I got a job and education and credit cards and I can do what I wanna do, but yet they follow me. But then I look across the room and there's a white man stealing all the shoes out the shoe department. Some of y'all been there, right? Talk to me, some of y'all been there, right?
Yep.
Y'all been there. So when we talk about Black Lives Matter is not just a statement. It's no longer a movement. It's a lifestyle. It has to be a lifestyle. You gotta wake up every day and say, hey, black lives gotta matter just as much as my life matters. Is that dope?
That's dope.
Now I'm gonna touch something real quick, and I battled if I was gonna touch this or not, but I'm talking to some of my hood people here. This means something to me. I don't talk all across this state. From Happy Valley, we did a march with close to 5,000 people. Estacada and Hillsboro and everywhere else. But I'm back home, man. This is where I grew up at, in here. And so I gotta talk to my people real quick. If Black Lives Matter, do they matter?
Yes.
So let me say this and see how y'all get with this. If Black Lives matter when they get killed by the police, should Black Lives matter if they're getting killed by gangs too?
Yeah.
Oh, it's quiet now. Wait a minute. Should Black Lives matter when gang violence is going on too?
Yes.
Yeah, them is Black Lives too. Them boys and girls that don't got killed
all this shooting, them is black lives too, and they matter just as much as if it's a police officer putting their foot on their neck. We gotta matter all around the board. We gotta matter to white people, we gotta matter to Asian people, but we gotta matter to ourselves as well. Is that right?
That's right.
That's right, that's right. Now when we talk about this justice reform and this education and the pipeline, my wife right here, say hey, yeah. She's the first, she's the first African-American vice principal in the David Douglas School District. That gives something, that's dope.
That a girl?
And she was telling me last night, because usually I don't write notes and I know what I'm gonna say, and I woke up in the middle of the night and was like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna say, this is gonna be interesting. And the joke is if I crash and burn, I'm just gonna leave, y'all won't see me after this is good. But she told me, she said, do you understand that at some point in time, that the people, how they built jails was based on the third graders, if they could read at a third grade education in third grade, or if they couldn't. So if there was a lot of kids that couldn't read at the third grade education, they start building more jails, because they said now since they can't read, they're not gonna graduate, they're gonna drop out, they're gonna go to the streets, and now they come into the jail cell. Does that make sense?
That's fucked.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I understand.
We gotta stop that pipeline now. Our kids, our African-American kids, our brown and black brothers are going to jail at a high rate, and the white people are getting paid for it. They're getting paid for them to go to jail. And then here's the cold part. They send you to jail, they send you there for 4 or 5 years, and then they send you out with a food stamp card, about $25, and tell you, hey, get a job, don't do nothing illegal, and make it work. Man, how the hell that happen? How can we get out of jail, get a job with a felony on our record, don't do nothing else, but you expect us to make it? We have to change the system. It has to be system changes. Marching is cool. I love marching. Protesting is cool. I love it. But what's next? We got to sit at those tables. We got to make sure we have systematic changes that change all this, or this is for nothing. We said it before, we've marched before, we spoke up before, we made shirts before, we chanted before, but now we gotta start busting down some of them doors and going in them rooms and saying we demand respect, we demand equality, we demand to be at the table, because our kids depend on it. Who got kids here? Raise your hand. Kids. Yeah. I'm not doing this for my own kids. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for their kids. I'm doing it for your kids, because they need it. They are killing our kids at a high rate. They go to school. If my kid is living in a low poverty area, they can't get the same education as they live in Lake Oswego. That makes no sense. We don't have computers over here in the hood, but Lake Oswego got MacBooks and laptops and Wi-Fi, and our stuff is breaking down. How can I educate my kids if they don't have the proper sources? And to my educators need support. They need to be able to pick their curriculum and know what they're doing, because they got a system and a man sitting in the background saying, hey, this is what you teach, and you got to have this taught by this time. That's not fair, because I know as a kid growing up as a black man, I learned differently. I was a visual learner, so you might not get it on the first try with me. So you speed me through. Now I'm flunking classes, and you're just pushing me along and pushing me along and pushing me along, and next you know I'm in the system and all that other kind of stuff. Our educators need our support. They need resources. The schools need resources. And here's the thing, you cannot teach black kids if you don't even know how to relate with black kids. You can't teach them. I walked into a school building one time, I was in a suit and tie, and I was talking, and a little kid came running up, and the security had him, and he was scrambling, they was choking him and grabbing him. I said, wait, let little man go. Let him go, let me holler at him. I took him to the side and said, what's up, man? What's going on? He said, man, I woke up this morning, the bus was late. I said, okay. I got to school, they told me breakfast was over. I said, all right. He said, so they sent me to class. I got in class, I sat down hard, slammed my pencil on the desk because I'm hungry, I'm here late, and next thing you know, the teacher said, get out, I'm about to give you a referral, get out of here. And then I didn't say, well, what did I do? They came and grabbed me and took me out. I had a 5-minute conversation with that boy. In 5 minutes, he was calmed down and doing what he wanted to do, and the white person came to me and said, what did you say? I said, I spoke black to him. I spoke black to him because he understood me as a black man and a black child. Hey man, we can't act like that because they're already looking at us. We can't act a fool because they already think we fools. So we gotta be able to move and do the things we need to do. So if you're an educator, make sure you push for the right resources, push for the right education, push for the right math. We don't get algebra out the gate sometimes. You gotta try some different stuff. Bring out some beans, bring out some rice, bring out something so we can get it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is beautiful. I see the tents, I see the people, I see the shirts, I see the posters, I see people chanting. That's great. That's wonderful. But man, y'all gotta flood that voting line, man. Y'all gotta go and vote. Y'all gotta go and vote. One time for vote. Let me hear you. 1, 2, 3, vote.
Vote.
You gotta go vote, man. I ain't a political guy, I'm not gonna get into it, but that orange dude that's in office right now, man, is really getting on my nerves right about now. He's really getting on my nerves because he's doing some things that is not cool for us. He don't care about the black and brown people. He don't care what's going on. He called us hooligans out here in Portland. He said we're tearing the city up out here in Portland, and he don't know what it is to be a black man himself. So we gotta go vote, get these people out of office. If they promise us something, make sure you hold them accountable. If they promise resources, go check on them. If they say they're gonna bring back into school, go back and say, hey, where's the resources to the school? We need to see the trail of money, where it's going, when it's going, and how it's going. If you tell me you build a new facility for kids and I don't see it, I got a problem with that. Because you told me you was gonna build it and you didn't build it. Start checking your people. Now, one thing I know, and I'm gonna end, my white friends that's out there, raise your hand one time, my good white compadres. Yeah. One thing y'all really good at, and I'm gonna tell y'all, if I say, hey man, they ain't doing right, I need y'all to write some letters to your city commissioners and stuff, oh, y'all gonna write them letters. Y'all gonna write them letters. Y'all good for that, let me speak to your manager. Let me speak to your manager. Y'all gonna write the letters. And so we need all voices. This is not just a black issue. This is not just a white issue. This is a humanity issue. One time, 1, 2, 3, humanity. Humanity. 1, 2, 3, humanity.
Humanity.
1, 2, 3, Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
All right, so just so I know before I go, what's y'all one agenda item I need y'all to do is go vote. Go run the polls. If they tell you can't get there, mail yours in. If they tell you this one's closed, find another one. Report it. Call in. Do what you need to do, but make sure you're voting for change. Don't let them be the change. We got to be the change, all right?
All right.
I love y'all. God bless. Peace. Love y'all. And there's a voter registration. Sorry, love. There's a voting registration just because I'm talking about voting right here. Go vote. Get your stuff right. Love y'all. God bless.
I do not own the rights to this music. I don't own the rights to this music. The rights to this music.
How y'all feeling out there?
Good.
All right. You gonna learn today. You gonna learn today. So, coming up next. Cut that off for me real fast, Jay. Give a shout out to my man Hitman Hef, one of the baddest DJs in the city, this side of the Mississippi River. So, the next person that's coming up on stage, I got a little story to tell before I send her up here. I was on social media one night and someone kept sharing this story about this young lady, and when I was hearing about it, I was very disturbed. How many know we can't forget about our people in rural areas outside of Portland?
Right.
Huh? Come on. How many know we cannot forget about our people outside of Portland in rural areas? So this young lady, she's all the way from Coos Bay. So if you haven't heard her story of what's going on with her, you guys need to really pay attention to her, what she's about to say. Jay, where you at? It's my girl right here. Me and her been keeping contact. You know, I've been making sure she's been straight. But I'm gonna let her tell her story about what's going on, because she is really fighting the fight in Coos Bay. If anybody's ever been to Coos Bay, I think out of all this grass, you pick up about 4 of them. That's how many black people is in Coos Bay, I think, right? A little more, a little less. She said a little less. So I'm gonna let her go ahead and tell her story. You guys listen to her.
Hey guys, I don't know where to put my mask, but I'll just put it in my pocket real quick. So, hi, my name is Jay Brown. I am from Coos Bay. Right now I'm actually staying in a safe house away from Coos Bay because it is not safe for black people to live in Coos Bay. I don't know if you guys know where it's at. It's actually the largest city on the coast, but it's also the most dangerous for black people. There's 14 of us. A lot of you guys have actually followed me on social media and kind of see what's going on. I'm talking about the Coos Bay that thinks it's okay to have no nigger zones put all over fences and walls and streets in their town.
What the hell?
I'm talking about the Coos Bay that allowed a black man to be chased down the streets while having rocks thrown at him and called nigger. That's the Coos Bay I'm talking about. I'm also talking about the Coos Bay where the city council doesn't listen to you if you're black. They censor you multiple times, but allow a white man to cuss them out. That's the Coos Bay I'm talking about. I'm also talking about the Coos Bay where 2 weeks ago, they wrote my name on the fence with a noose, but the DA and the police department says that I'm not the victim, and it wasn't a noose. It was, what did they say? It was a paint misfire. It was a spray can misfire. It wasn't a noose. The details are, you know, a noose, but it's not. We have been fighting, and when I say we, I mean me and the 6 you see with us, because everybody else is scared to talk. Because if you do, you get told you're gonna come get your kid's throat sliced, or they're gonna shoot you in front of your lesbian lover because I am black and LGBT+. They call my girlfriend a nigger lover and what is it, a porch monkey lover, whatever that means. Coos Bay is doing nothing. Coos Bay is doing nothing. As I stand here, I stand with probably 55 death threats behind my back, if not more. But the police won't take it serious. They've deemed me violent. They've deemed me a terrorist, even though I've never hurt anybody. I've never broken a thing. I've never even left a piece of trash behind when we protest, which our protest gets taken over every single time by white men and big guns. But if I carry a gun, let me carry a gun, and that's a death wish in Coos Bay. My child's here today with her own bodyguards because they threatened to shoot and kill my child multiple times. It's not even just once. The city council does not care. We've been to the city council, like everybody says. Go to city council, go to city council. It's been 67 days and we still have not heard from Mayor Joe Bonetti. Refuse to talk to black citizens. They won't, they will not. But what's funny is they keep swearing that they didn't get a letter from me with a list of my demands. However, there's 3 items that are on that list that the city has now pushed, but will not say they ever got my letter. You can't walk outside in Coos Bay without looks. Ever. Ever. And while we're calling out politicians, you know, because it is a big deal to vote, which we do. All 14 black people, we vote. But it doesn't matter because our mayor gladly protects his white citizens, and he's been said on tape multiple times that he only cares about the 97%. If that's not a problem, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. And I'm asking as a black LGBT woman who is struggling in Coos Bay for help. We need help out there. And I see my little group over here with the green. You guys have been amazing. Holding it down in the little towns. The little towns are struggling, you guys. And all of this started because I am black and I am vocal and I am tired. And I am tired. That's why all of this has happened, because I am tired of getting treated the way that I am, like I'm not human. I'm a mental health worker. I saved a lot of kids in Coos Bay every single day from committing suicide. But at the end of the day, no matter what, no matter where I go, I'm always going to be a nigger to that town. Every single day. It doesn't matter how much I do for that town. I was a cheer coach, got fired from that because I was out protesting. This is what happens in small towns, which a lot of people in big towns don't know about because they don't see us, they don't hear us. We're here, and we need help. Because I give myself another 2 weeks before one of those death threats become real. Just this morning, which almost prevented me from coming, they put a cash reward on my head. Cash reward on my head. For being black, that's the reason. For being black. And being tired of the way Coos Bay does things. How they're not pushing any policy, how they're not acknowledging us. Right now we have a 14-year-old black girl who had a mental health crisis, and instead of sending the police or sending a mental health crisis counselor, they sent to police and locked her up for 11 years. Her name is Soraya Reese. But the white girl who did the same exact crime 2 months before that and then 2 months later fed a baby a vape saw no charges. Or the one that murdered her mom. This is Soraya's mom right here, everyone. We travel as a group because she is in just as much fear as I am. Her daughter is sitting in jail for 11 years over a mental health crisis. She once again did not hurt anybody. She hurt nobody. And the two white people that hurt and murdered people, they're in a psych hospital. They're in a psych hospital. It's ridiculous, you guys. We need help. We do. Just keep writing them. They won't write you back. We've already sent, what, 2,500 emails? It's coming. Keep writing the city. Keep writing the police department because they will not take these threats serious. They don't care.
Fed a baby
They told us that we need to respect them. And it's getting way out of hand. So if you would like to help Coos Bay, feel free to follow Justice for Soraya. There's also the only known documented lynching that happened in Coos Bay, Oregon, that Coos Bay likes to pretend never happened. His name was Alonzo Tucker. If you want to find information on that, which we're still fighting for every day because the city denies that it even happened there, it's Alonzo Tucker Project. Next week, we're making noise, whether there's counter-protesters or not, whether they want to continue to say they will shoot us in our face. Go ahead, because my people are ready. Right there. Right over there. We've got a couple of them. So if you want to come next weekend and make some noise with us and really, really, really stand with your people in the smaller communities, your smaller black communities, please come. It'll be at the Coos Bay Boardwalk. You can find us. It's going to be called Can You Hear Me? Yeah, I see a lot of you guys. You guys are all amazing. You guys are all important. You guys all matter to us, but you all have a place in this. You all do. Please keep writing the city. Please keep calling them. Even if they take the phone off the rink, leave a message. It's really important. Oh, it's August 8th. See,
what time?
They let me.
What time?
Okay, here we go.
12.
All right, here we go.
Thank you.
Can you tell I'm not good in talking in public? It's August 8th. 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. It's August 8th, 12 o'clock at the Coos Bay Boardwalk. Please, and I know it's going to sound dramatic, please make sure you do wear bulletproof vests. That's not a joke. Please do. If you have kids, just make sure you have a safe way for them to get out. These are not jokes, guys. These are very real. So we have many, many threats, but we're not going to back down this time. Don't let them tell us to be quiet anymore. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And guess what? Don't forget this. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Like I said, we can't forget about our smaller black communities.
Right. So does anybody have a bulletproof vest
Coming
I can
up
borrow
next
to go cover
is
that
also
next weekend?
a young lady I've been knowing for a long. I've been saying that all day. I guess I know everybody. I am old. I'm better. I'm not old. I'm better.
You live there?
Okay. So coming up to the stage right now is my girl Juliana. If you guys don't know, this is the young female that was on CNN. What else she was on? She's been known all around the country right now. She's a little famous right now. But I asked her to come up and do what she do best. So you guys give it up for Juliana. And by the way, she's all the way from Salem, Oregon, and fighting, doing amazing things in Salem.
All right, hi guys. Before I start, I do want to say we will be there for you on the 8th. I just started something called Black Joy Oregon, and we are going to go to every city in Oregon. We're going to bring Black Joy to every single city and support those who are standing by themselves. So we've just started that, and our first event will be co-organized with Jay Brown. We're going to be in Coos Bay, and then on the way home, we're going to hit all the little cities all the way down the line. So, I was actually at a protest in Dallas, Oregon, which is full of racist folks, and the experience with counter protesters, bro, it broke my heart. Like, I had never seen such ugliness. I had never really encountered people, the way that they use God and patriotism to excuse bigotry was really wild to me. And so when I got home, I had all this emotion and all this craziness, and I've been in Portland protesting and getting tear gassed by federal agents, and all of that emotion kind of swelled, and I wrote this song. I'm going to do it a cappella for you guys, so I hope you like it. The pain is real, and my chest feels tight, and though I'm scared, I will stand and fight. You're screaming in my face about skin that I can't change, but my life matters just like you. I just don't look the same. I can't take this black off. Low-key, sometimes I wish I could, so you wouldn't assume I'm bad. You could see that I'm good, but you'd rather make assumptions like you know who I am. All you know is that I'm black, and that's enough to back your stance. You call me godless, you call me terrorist and thug, never understanding if you'd let me speak, I'd show you love. I understand that you're afraid of becoming the other, but that's all we've ever been. And if you're just like me, you'll pick yourself back up, turn the other cheek to get slapped again, but you'll find joy in the struggle. You'll learn how to hustle, turn something out of nothing, like we always do. You'll learn about yourself, be empathetic of others when you have no white privilege left, and that's just the truth. I give you facts, you call it fake news. I tell you that's my life. You say, well, where's the proof? I'm not asking for opulence, I'm just asking to live. But your rhetoric is seemingly all you have to give. The pain is real, and my chest feels tight. And though I'm scared, I will stand and fight. I will stand and fight. Why is, one more. I know you thought it was short, didn't you? Why is this a discussion, my black body a debate? Why must I ask permission to live life free from hate? You call it God and patriotism. You see black joy and call the cops. We've marched, we've kneeled, and now we'll burn it down to make it stop. The revolution has been televised, and I know you're new to injustice, but we see this all the time. We can't back down. Fists up, we in the streets. We can't take it anymore, and we won't settle for defeat. So come at me, bro. Bring your hateful words and your tear gas and your feds. I'll take it all to be heard, just to get it through your head. Black lives matter, Black lives matter. Say it one more time. Black lives matter, and yours is no more important than mine. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. No, I'm really not. I'll hold the line and hold my head high till the madness stops. Because Black lives matter, Black lives matter. Say it one more time. Black lives matter, and yours is no more important than mine. And the pain is real, and my chest feels tight. And though I'm scared, I will stand and fight. You're screaming in my face about skin that I can't change. Well, my life matters just like you. I just don't look the same. I will stand and fight. Oh, I will stand and fight. Thank you, guys.
Y'all give it up for her one more time. Juliana. All right. How y'all feeling? All right.
The Kaganator.
Coming next to the stage. Not only is today his birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, should we sing happy birthday to him?
Of course we should.
Huh? All right, we're gonna do that. This my guy. Here I go again. I've been knowing him since he was a little kid. I know his mom and dad also. This young man right here does a lot of community work with our youth. I can't expressly tell him how proud I am. I'm not telling you to your face how proud I am of you, bro. He could have went left, but he went right. And we need young men like this in the community for our youth to look up to. So we're gonna sing happy birthday to him right now. Which way are we gonna do it?
You know how.
He said the regular way.
You know how.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy.
All right. Okay, Kiki. Just to let y'all know, she is like this in real life. She is not doing this for the cameras. This is her 24/7. 24/7. So give it up to my man, Marte. He said he's gonna sit down and talk. I put him on the spot, so he gotta stand up.
Can everybody hear me in the back? Hey, raise your hand if you can hear me in the back. Bet that. Hey, first and foremost, shout out to the, We All Right team. You know what I'm saying? Everybody you see with these shirts on, everybody give a round of applause real quick. That's my team. Excuse me, it's really, shout out to Love, man. He putting this thing on. Got a group of us together. You know what I'm saying? We all been in the streets, downtown, protesting all over Portland, all over Oregon since day one. You know what I'm saying? Like he said. And, he got a group of us together, and here we are. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody coming out here, from my family all the way to people in the community. This means a lot. So I'm going to tell y'all something. Honestly, I just started working in education last school year, right? So I'm coming from, the sports world, where growing up as a young black boy in the hood, you want to play basketball and football, because that's what we see on TV. That's what we see in our households. That's what we see in our families. But it takes for somebody that look like you in other lights. Nobody really, people told me that I could be whatever I want to be, but I never really saw a black judge. I never really saw black lawyers. I never really saw black firefighters. I never really seen, not that many black police officers. And I think as you grow up and as you grow into becoming a man, and a woman, you learn that you can become anything you want. You just really have to just dig deep. And I think one of the main things is that's why I'm working in education, because I want to let all them little black boys and little black girls know that you can be an educator, you can have dreads, you can have tats, you can be cool, you can still be the same person working in education. So I think that's one of the main things that, you know, that I always tell my kids is I'm a living proof of that. You know, I played professional. You know, I didn't play for that long, but it was a reason why God called me to these kids, to these babies. You know what I'm saying? And I fully accept that calling. Oftentimes we try to kind of go against what is for our lives, because we got our own agenda. But what you got to understand is somebody higher you got their own agenda for you. And for me, that's God. I know God had a bigger agenda for me more than just football, because he's seen me in the light that not other people see me in. They see me in the light of football, but to God, he's seen that the kids can do whatever they want to do. They could teach, you know, they can educate, you know what I'm saying? They could do whatever they want to, but you just got to dig deep and you got to trust yourself. You got to trust your heart, you know what I mean? And for me, you know, spirituality was the baseline for me, you know what I'm saying? And I thank my mom, who is out here right now, for that, because she did it. You know, single mom, 3 kids, she did it. You know what I mean? I'm a product of that. And I'm happy for, you know what I mean? I'm happy to come from that. Because one of the things is, for all my black women out there who doing it by yourself, if you co-parenting, you're doing a great job. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You working hard, you making sure your babies eat, you making sure your babies, you know what I'm saying, got the right, you know, education. You trying to do the best that you can. And sometimes the village came in for me, because mom was working, she was doing her thing, but the village came in for me. They took me underneath their wing and they showed me, Martel, you could be anything. And here I'm standing you not only as an ex-football player, but I'm standing you as an educator. I'm standing you as a father, as a stepfather, as a fiance, soon-to-be husband. I'm standing you as a 25-year-old black man as of today. They said we don't reach the age of 18 or 21, better yet 25, and today I'm blessed to be able to be 25. So I just want to thank God for that, because he gets all the credit. And one of the things I want to tell my little black boys and little black girls out there, I need y'all. I know we ain't in school right now, but I need y'all to challenge yourself. When you online learning, I need you to challenge yourself. Put yourself on a schedule. I need you to get up in the morning. I need you to be grinding. I need you to be reading. I need you to be trying hard at that math that you might be struggling with. I need you to get up every single morning and give it your 110%, because we got to go harder than other people. I know it's hard and I understand it's tough, but we got to do it in order for us to be where we got to be. Just like my man Sam said earlier at King, when we get put into these rooms, for example, when I got put into an educational room, guess what I did? I made sure they heard my voice. I make sure them kids, you know, really felt my presence every single day when I walked in that school, at Beaumont Middle School. They felt my presence every single day. And a lot of teachers out there as well, if you're an educator or a teacher, raise your hand, or if you work in the educational system. Do it. Working in that educational system, we got to understand that these babies, when they leave school, they got a whole nother life that they live in. So yeah, they might come to school frustrated. Yeah, they might come to school mad because they might be going hungry or because they have an abuse at home. I work with kids like that. I understand what it's like. I had a kid get off the bus early in the morning and he's livid. You know what I'm saying? At 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. So I got to calm him down. I got to talk to him. And I always let him know and let my kids know that just because you may be struggling at home or you have a situation at home doesn't mean that you can't come to school and succeed. Let that be your motivation. Let that be the reason why you go hard. Let that be the reason why you want to get your family out of a situation where you know what I'm saying, you can grow up, you know what I'm saying, and have generational wealth. So to all my kids out there, I need y'all with this online learning coming up, especially my little black kids. Y'all got to understand the test scores is 86% to 3%. And guess what the little black boys and girls fall in? The 3%. So guess what? We got to bring that up. We got to bring that up, and we need help from our parents. I understand you working hard, but make sure you push your kids to do that work, because if we don't do the work, we're going to keep falling behind. And I believe we got to use this momentum to educate our babies, because they the leaders. They the next ones up. And I'm going to be here to lead them in the right direction. You know what I mean? Until I can't do it no more. So I need everybody to raise their fist up real quick, for me real quick. Everybody in the park, just raise your fist up and repeat after me. Accountability. Louder. Accountability. Responsibility. Unity. And love. Appreciate y'all.
My guy right there.
She want to dance so bad. Yeah, we do. We turn up. All right, coming next to the stage. I can finally say that I haven't been knowing this person for a long time. I think I just met her like 2 years ago. But coming to the stage is Libra. I believe she's the COO of SCI. You guys give her a hand. CFO. Is it C? That's just Libra. Come on, girl. There you go. And also, she's a Philadelphia Eagle fan like myself.
Boo!
Yeah, exactly.
Boo, Eagles!
Yeah.
I cannot get
go
behind
green
that.
or go home.
Cowboys?
Back up.
How y'all doing out there?
All right.
He got it right. My name is Libra, and yes, he does not know me since I was a kid. I'd be the first. I'm originally from Harlem, New York. Born and raised. Been in Oregon now for 6 years. I am the COO of Self-Enhancement. I know nothing about finances. Not my specialty. I'm also an elected official in North Clackamas School District. The first black woman on their school board, that would be me. So even though I work in Portland and I fight for black children and families in Portland every single day, I go home and I do the same thing for little brown and black children out in Clackamas, unapologetically. Because here's the deal, y'all. You all are here because you believe. You believe that Black Lives Matter. So I'm preaching to the crowd. But say it one time. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Again, Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
That's it. So I'm preaching to the choir here. But let me give you some thought here. Black lives have been currency for this nation for years. Over 400 years, they have used us to pay for all of their privileges. We have been their money, not green, but black money. And today, we have said we've had enough. We are closing down the banks of black people, and we are taking ownership of our currency again. Because you no longer get to use us in the way that you have been. Through our grace and our mercy, we have fed your children. We have raised your children. We have raised this country on our backs and still graciously turn and smile at you and say hello. Yes. Those days are over. They are over. But I want to specifically talk about currency at the tables that you sit at. We all know that money's green, and when you take out money in the store, everybody wants you to purchase something, right? And many times when black people go in the store, they don't know if we have money or not. They see me, I'm a 6'5" woman, over 200 pounds. I won't tell you exactly how much, but I'm over 200. And they immediately get fearful. They don't understand that I have a PhD. And that I've studied all the ways of them, because my parents, as a Black Panther group in New York City, was very clear that you have to place black children in positions and gaps in order to fix the system. You must use your own currency to build up wealth. That's why Black Lives Matter, because now we're going to use our own currency. Instead of you using it for us, we're going to use it to you and let you know that we're not the exception to the rule. We are the rule. Yeah. So now let's talk about education, because this is what this is about. I'm here in education and voting. And like I said, I'm on the school board in North Clackamas, and I heard somebody talk about Clackamas High School, and I'm with you. Bougie as hell. But that's okay, we changing that, because we now have the only black named high school in the state, And I'm a part of that, thank you very much. And we will keep adding black names on buildings in Clackamas until they understand that Black Lives Matter. But let me give you a food for thought. If education really matters to you, if you really want to see a difference, let me help you. Tell you what you can do right now. Everybody in COVID is afraid of all these differences. They're afraid of the fact that all these kids are online. What they are missing, what they are being distracted from, is every school district is making exceptions to every rule. And all of you are sleeping while these exceptions are being made. You gotta wake up and show up at every board meeting and tell them, I don't like that exception, I want this exception. And make sure you speak up for Black lives when you say that. In addition to that, if we're talking about voting, how many of you have a 16-year-old in your circles? They can register right now. And then when they turn 18, we don't gotta remind you. They just vote. The last thing I'm gonna tell you for food for thought, your school boards, which you are concerned about education, your school boards have people that run unopposed. 75% of your school board members run unopposed. That is your fault. You all can run for a school board. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you talk like. You don't even have to have a degree. All you have to do is show up and show your currency and show that Black Lives Matter when you sit at that table. Do that today. Last and foremost, I want you to know, you cannot do this alone. And black folks need to tell you what we want. Don't tell us and don't talk for us. Let us tell you what we want. And then once you as a non-black person understand completely what is needed, you need to stand up. Use your resources, use your voice, use your position, use your power, and sit at every table, whether it's your kitchen table, whether it's the table for law, whether it's any table of power, and you stand there and you say loud, Black Lives Matter!
I
gotta cool this mic off.
To hear him back.
Whew. Okay. Feel sorry who's coming after her. No, I'm just playing. Everybody got something important to say. Thank you, Libra. Appreciate you.
Wow.
Coming next to the stage is a young man. I reposted a video of him the other day, and it was crazy what he said. Not crazy in a crazy way, but crazy, exciting way. And when he come up here, I want him to say what he said first before he say what he got to say. All right, my man. Y'all give it up for my man, Max Smith.
What's up, y'all? My name is Max Smith, and I'm here to defund the police. I'm gonna try to sit down. I'll see how long I can do this for. I guess I went viral on MSNBC because they asked me a question about what I felt about the protesters' violence. And I told them, and they cut this part out, that you can't do violence to buildings. Violence is when you shoot people in the face. Violence is when you beat people with batons. Violence hurts. Buildings don't feel pain. That doesn't mean we need to burn the building down, but it means that the answer to someone doing graffiti or throwing a firework in a building is not smacking them in the face with a baton or cracking their skull with a rubber bullet. What I said on the TV that made the news was, I said, the first week we were coming out here with t-shirts and hula hoops, and they started gassing us. So we came back with with respirators, and they started shooting us. So we came back with vests on, and they started aiming for the head. So we started wearing helmets, and then they started calling us terrorists. And I asked, who's escalating this?
because it's not us. Like I said earlier, I'm here to defend defund the police. Some people are here to defend the police. I'm not going to get into that. We are out here saying every day, 65 days, that Black Lives Matter. Through all the drama about, is this still about Black lives? We were out there the whole time on the ground saying Black Lives Matter, talking about George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. We don't protest for 65 days straight because Black Lives Matter. You cannot protest for something. Does that make sense? Right. You have to protest against something. Damn right. So if we are protesting because the cops killed Breonna Taylor, and the cops killed Kendra James, and the cops killed Patrick Kimmons, and the cops killed George Floyd, and the former cops killed, and the cops covered up the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, then what are we protesting? We are protesting the police.
Oh, welcome back, baby.
Stop being scared. People don't want to protest the police because the police keep the wheels turning. The police have ends to everything. The police donate to the NAACP. So they don't want the police to go away. They want to distract you. They want to talk about how Black Lives Matter, which is not a distraction, but the most important, the single most important and actionable thing we can do right now for Black lives is to defund the police. 73% of the inmates in jail across this country are Black or Latino. We make up less than 25% of the population. Black people are pulled over. 60% of the stops for traffic violations in Portland are of Black people. We are 6% of the population.
Good God.
One of my homies, my big homie, wanted to start a gang outreach program. The cops won't let him do it because he can't hang out with the other bangers. You guys, it's not just about taking their money to fund all these programs that everybody's up here talking about. Big Sam gave a speech earlier about all these programs we could fund. Little mama over here from the school is talking about all the stuff we could fund. All the things that we need. We don't have paper in school. People gotta bring their own supplies, but the cops don't gotta buy their own bullets. We gotta really think about this. The cops spend $1 billion every 4 years. Over $1 billion. I'm rounding down. The budget last year was $255. This year it's $253. But they say they cut it by $15 million. You do the math. They'll tell you anything to defend the police because the police keep the rich rich and the middle class, and they don't even care about the poor. And what they do is they get us to fight against the poor. They get us to complain about the crime. But crime is not something the police have ever stopped. Otherwise, the $255 million they spent last year would have stopped all those shootings. But they just show up afterwards, just like everybody else. But they get paid for it. We need to defund the police because we are spending money. The cost of policing in Portland has gone up $100 million in less than 10 years. And the crime rate has not changed at all. In fact, it's gone up. So the police aren't working. We have no problem funding the police, and we have no problem defunding our schools. But when we talk about defunding police, you start hearing a lot of himmer, hummer, yama, yama. The people that get up here and talk, the politicians and everyone else, they're going to talk a lot of himmer, hummer, yama, yama, and talk about how Black Lives Matter and George Floyd, but they're not going to say defund the police. Pay attention to me. I'm telling you this because I'm the only person today that said this out loud. The only one. The only one. What have we been in the streets for 65 days for? To defund the police. We're protesting the police, and they don't want us to defund the police, so they try to sell us other stuff. They try to sell us Juneteenth holidays. They try to sell us renamed streets. They want to paint Black Lives Matter across downtown, where they've been gassing us. Explain this to me. They spent more money gassing us. The feds came in and they bought more tear gas and then said they're going to pass a law they can't use it. You got to pay attention. This is real. And the counterinsurgency of it is real as well. There are people among us that don't want us to do this. Dead ass. There are people among us that work for the police or that are compromised by the police and therefore are doing what they have to do to make them happy. People will not get up here and talk about defunding the police. And people will definitely not get up here and talk about disbanding the Portland Police Union. These are words that can get you killed. And I'm serious. When the police shot that boy in the back with the AR-15, that child, Quanice Hayes, because he didn't have enough. And he was out in the street with a cap gun. And they shot him in the back when he got off his knees to run because they were shooting with rubber bullets. You got to keep in mind that they shot Breonna Taylor in her house while she was sleeping. And they'd already caught the person the warrant was executed for. They killed George Floyd, a person that worked with him at another job, kneeled on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds because they thought he passed a counterfeit $10 bill that wasn't even counterfeit. And then they blamed it on COVID. And the same people say COVID is fake. Y'all gotta pay attention to what's going on out here. I'm not out here to chant. I'm not out here to sing. I'm out here for you guys to understand the moment that we're really in. I want you to stop listening to MSNBC even though I'm on there. I'm dead serious, you guys. If you want a list of people you can follow on Twitter to show you what's going on the ground, I'll send it to you. Black people. They try to tell us this is white people that wanted this. Who wants to defund the police? There's a lot of black people up here saying they wanted to defund the police. I asked my big homie, when you were 16 and you got in trouble and they took you out your house and put you in a group home and you learned about real crime, what was it you needed before you became a Crip and started banging? He said he needed some counseling. Why wasn't he given counseling? Why did they take him out of his house and put him in a home where he didn't get counseling? Why did they take my little brother at 17 years old over a weed charge, give him a Measure 11, and now he's fucked up for life? He's a genius. But he'll never be the same as he was. My son is 18 years old, he just graduated. There was no applause. He graduated at home, like all your kids, like some of y'all in this crowd. We could do way more for our kids besides this nonsense we're gonna do Zoom calls if we had money from the police. The police on one end want to lock our kids up and they want us to pay for it. You know that 75% of your property taxes, because a lot of y'all own homes, I own a house, 75% goes to the cops. Every single homeowner on average pays $3,500 a year in property taxes. That's average. I spend $4,000. $3,000 I spend on the cops every year. I'm sick of it. That could go to my schools. That could be community gardens. That could be ending food deserts. That could be getting counseling. That could be going to the programs that we already have that are here. Yeah. They want to give us, hold on, I don't need claps. They want to give us in this new Reimagine initiative that a lot of politicians are going to be talking about tomorrow and the day after. And they want to meet with us and talk about it and have us in little groups together, right? And they're going to offer you this plan that says a lot of stuff we didn't ask for. They want to give us $2.5 million to look at ways that we can reimagine a community safety. We already have ways to reimagine community safety. We just don't fund them. Randall Wyatt has a program called Taking Ownership PDX. He fixes people's houses for free. Black people's houses get fixed for free. Sam has a bunch of programs. They all need funding. They all need funding. Everyone in here knows someone that has a program. My guy Rams has a program for community policing, where we take care of each other. Not even community policing, community defense. So we take care of each other. He's meeting with 3 other people I found that all have these organizations. None of them are funded. We don't need $2.5 million for the Urban League to research. That's not what we need. They just got a $12 million check. They just got it for interrupting our protests and telling people to be peaceful and happy and pretending that's the reason the cops went home. Pay attention to what's going on. Republicans, they want cops. Democrats, they want cops. It's okay to vote for the Democrats. I'll vote for the Democrats because they're better than Republicans. But they don't want the same things as you either. Because they're rich too. And they need the police. All these empty apartments up and down Williams. Who guards them? The police. Where are all the homeless people being guarded by other police? The police get it on both sides. And we pay for it. It's our right to ask them to spend less money. We should not have to vote on them doing their jobs properly. That's not why we're in the streets. If we wanted to vote for it, we'd wait for it to be on the ballot. But last I checked, I've never seen take money off the cops on the ballot. So when they tell you we're doing all this to vote, tell them bullshit. We're doing all this to put this on the ballot. It's still America. I'm not saying the mob's gonna rule. But the only way we're heard in this society is if we have money or if we take these streets. They isolated us downtown. We were taking the streets. They isolated us downtown where nobody cared. Then they bombed us and gave us TV coverage. They threw flashbangs at me. They knocked my phone out their hand with the flashbang. I'm a journalist. Before I got arrested and shot in the face, I didn't really care that much. But when we go in there saying defund the police, they shoot you in the face. There's a reason for that the police shoot you in the face. You've seen the article in the Oregonian with the holes in the heads. I'm in one of them pictures. They didn't break my head because I had a helmet that said press. And they shot me from 50 yards away in my face because I've been covering this and telling this story. There is risk to this. When the police are gone, we have to take care of each other. But I'm not scared of my brothers. This man up here with an extended clip in his pistol, I didn't even flinch. That black man cares about me. Like he cares about you and he's here to keep us safe. I don't feel that way around the police. And that's not my fault. I'm not the one escalating shit. It's them. And that's what I came here to say. When they ask you to vote, when they come in and ask you to be on their side and talk with us, I want you to look up the definition of being co-opted. Look it up. I'm not going to recite it. Look up the definition of being co-opted. That's what they want to do. They're going to grab some of us and say, hey, come into a room. Isn't this what you really want? You don't really want to defund the police. Don't you just want oversight? Don't you just want us to fix the oversight program that we've been working on for the past 50 years? Don't you want us to finally do it? Isn't that what you really want? Aren't you tired of getting tear gassed? Aren't you tired of walking every day? Come in here. Come in this room. Let's talk about it. I'll put some of this $2.5 million towards your program, and then we'll call this a day. That's how it happens. That's how we lose our leaders. I don't want to be your leader. I will never do that. Talk to the leaders that want to lead and see if they want the things you want, not if they want to say the things that you want to hear, but if they're willing to put their ass on the line and do what you're asking for. Ted Wheeler came in as a police reform, as a mayor for police reform. Don't forget that. It was only 4 years ago. I sat in his office 4 years ago. Me and Greg and Alan. Where's Alan Bell at? Me, Greg, and Alan over there with the cart in the back. The one that sells you snowballs. We sat in that meeting, and we told him, you have the lowest crime you've ever had in Portland. And he said, yes, but we have a crisis. We don't have enough officers. And we said, the crime is the lowest it's ever been. And he said, but it's not going to stay that way. And we said, yes, it will if you don't keep hiring cops. And he said, no. And they ordered more cops. They got 100 more cops, and they got a new gang task force. They renamed the Gun Reduction Safety Team or some nonsense. After the last time we got rid of it with Charlie Hales, they brought it right back with a new name. No one knew what it was. Sounds great. Gun Reduction. This was a gang task force. This is out here profiling black people. I got a file in there, and I ain't never been in a gang in my life. It's important that we understand that they're going to say one thing, and they're going to do another. Most of y'all in this crowd are as old as me or older. Y'all have seen this for decades, that they lie. I'm telling you the truth. I hope that you heard me. Defund the police. Can we get it one time? Defund the police.
Defund the police.
Defund the police.
Defund the police.
So we can invest in our communities. Thank you.
See, that's the shit I be thinking, but I can't say. Because I don't know how to say it.
Whoa, buddy.
The way that he
What's
said
up,
it.
man?
That's why I bring people up here
Jody.
to say it the way that it needs to be said. So, with no further ado, I'm going to keep this going. Coming next to the stage is a young lady that, again, I reposted something that she said one night. I'm gonna let her come down here and say it. Kenzie, where you at? Come on down here. This young lady is amazing, amazing. So I hit her up. I was like, you have to come and say something. You have to. So you guys give it up for Kenzie.
Woo! Hey y'all, you still with us out there or what? I don't know if I can hear you, but I'll trust you're out there. My name is Kinsey.
Hi, Kenzie.
On that note that Mac just gave us, let's take a moment to remember why we're here. Black humans are dying in the hands of those who are supposed to protect us. Law enforcement is using brutality to take advantage of the vulnerability of Black and brown and marginalized humans. Law and order as a means to silence and kill. I'd like to take another moment to think about what causes police brutality. Well, for me, I'd like to think it is racism and misogyny. Let's think about that for a second. Let's say that to ourselves. Racism and misogyny. As a hyper-emotional, cognitively empathetic Black woman, I have experienced so much racism and misogyny. I thought it was interesting when they started to tear gas us. Tear gas ain't nothing when you have been gaslit your whole life. Let's take a moment to talk about gaslighting. It's a manipulative tactic used to maintain power and control. The most vulnerable are easiest to control. So they gaslight us. They try to question our sanity, the validity of our lived experience, to diminish our worth, to diminish our rights. I think it's time for us to start listening to the most vulnerable. We have to be vulnerable to listen to the most vulnerable. I think it's a time for us to get in touch with our most vulnerable parts, the parts that make us a human, so that we can make and create informed platforms for marginalized humans to excel in areas they never knew they were welcome in. It's time for us to remove racism and misogyny amongst us. We must demand for it to be removed from the system, but we also must demand for it to be removed amongst us. Racism and misogyny is practiced amongst us all. We have all contributed to the further perpetuation of racism and misogyny. Understand that. Accept that. My story is interesting and complicated. I was adopted before I was born. My family looks nothing like me. The little town I was from looked nothing like me. I stood in the intersection, uncomfortable and vulnerable, constantly afraid that I was going to be hit by one of the sides. They're honking at me. I don't know what to do. I don't know what they're saying, but I'm standing there in the intersection, confused because everyone around me is confused too, confused because everyone around me is oppressed too and conditioned. This is the first time I've felt that intersection, that experience I had standing in that intersection all my life is valuable. Intersectionality is valuable. It's necessary for this to make sense, for human liberation to actually be. I knew young that I was different. But everyone around me liked to tell me why I was different. They didn't ask me. They told me. They were teaching me these things I had no idea about. It wasn't until I was 12 years old did the first person call me black. And I was like, what? What is black? What do you mean? I'm Kinsey. What do you mean? And they use that to single me out. They use that to box me up and limit me. And so I had to do what I could to assimilate, to adjust myself. So they listened to me. So they would stop seeing the box and telling me that's all that I am. I had to really start tapping into myself really young because I knew I was different. So I decided to tell them and show them why I was different. It wasn't just because of the color of my skin. So I decided to prioritize my authenticity, learning about myself. I learned that it was a lot harder for them to look at me through the lens of their marginalized view when I was choosing to not let it limit me. But I also didn't know what I was doing. I also was desensitizing to the concept of racism because I didn't want it to touch me. I got comfortable. And it wasn't until I started hearing the entire city start to tell me my life matters, my black life matters, the blackness in me matters, that I started to believe it, that I started to understand that's mine too. I'd like to finish off with a poem. Let it resonate, let it make it marinate with you and all these thoughts, all these things that you just heard, all these differences in perspective, let it marinate. Let it seep into you so that when you walk away, you don't have to be told again because it's getting tiring, constantly demanding for my rights, for our rights. Black and brown humans should not have to be demanding for their rights when they were never given the tools for their voices to be heard. I keep it moving and keep spitting out dreams, shifting shapes as if I'm splitting the seams. I've got edges within me and endless oceans. Unconditional, unconventional, I'm emotion. A human pit of passion and potential. Bending time and space, I'm existential. Fabricating my reality as if I'm everything, but also I am nobody. Patching the gaps from what I thought I knew. Thought I'd burst from all the pressure, but then I broke through. I keep a constant sense of celebration, learning to lean into my hesitation, knowing the only way to truly level up is to follow through. Never thought I'd see above it all, but then I grew. I'm breaking down what it means to be and what this life really means to me and what a privilege it's been to have the means to see. I've been living a dream, a life of make-believe. It's a fucking honor to have made it this far. Just a little carbon creature made from the scraps of stars, sipping from a universal reservoir, a walking supernova wrapped in nothing but scars. I'm a creature made of carbon, living in a universe of scars and stars. I'm just doing what I can, but wholehearted. And I am just getting started. Thank you.
How y'all feeling?
Feeling all
Y'all
right.
got quiet out there on me. Do I need to give everybody a Red Bull out there or something?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. I got you. I'm going to deliver. Get it delivered. Okay, so coming to the stage.
Music time.
This is the last speaker. I don't want nobody to leave. I saved the best for last. So coming to is my partner. This is the main one I wanted to speak. Everybody was great. I loved it. I appreciate everybody. And yeah, he wore shorts. He never wears shorts. All right, so come on, give it up for Royal.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, you in the blue shirt way back there. You listening? No, you walk. Okay, cool. Hey, you right there with the yellow thing on your shoulder next to the guy with the blue and the green. What's up, y'all? Hey, how many people came here because Black Lives Matter? Raise your hand. Now, here's the question I, as a black man, ask all white people all the time. What does that mean? What does that mean? Because I went down to the protest asking people, what does that mean, white people? You know what I got? I got a lot of befumbled answers. It means we want to end police brutality. No. See, I see some of y'all got some kids, and that's the only reason I'm not going to cuss, because I really do cuss. But it's two words that if Black Lives Matter to you, and if you don't say these or why you do what you do, you's a lying-ass person. The first word is freedom. Now, what freedom means is the power or right to think, act, or speak without hindrance or restraint. Let me repeat that. The power or the right to speak, think, or act without hindrance or restraint. So that means as black people, we have the right to tell you what we need. We have the right to actualize what we need. And we have the right to do it without you getting in the goddamn way. Now, that sounds kind of harsh. I really don't give a damn. The second word is agency. And that's our ability to act and express ourselves freely. So as we come up here and say what we have to say, we're exercising our agency. And one of the things about black agency that doesn't get articulated like white agency, we don't all have to say the same thing. We don't all have to do the same thing. We are not one democratic voting bloc with one set of ideas. And what we want is those two things. Because once you do those, then you start the process to our lives mattering. Now, me, honestly, I don't need a single white person on the planet to tell me my life matters. That came from my mom and my dad and the 3 generations that came here before me on my dad's side and the 2 on my mom's side. And the fact that we have educators, that we have athletes, that we have social workers, that we have doctors in my family proves I don't need no validation from nobody. What my community needs, though, is y'all to get off your ass and really do the right stuff. Because, like, here's the thing. Some people say they want to abolish the police. They want to defund the police. Let's be real. Black people make up 5.8% of this city. So the majority of policing is on white people. Now, this is what I do want. I want a serious investment in defunding inadequate policing. That means policies, procedures, departments that don't provide freedom and agency for black people. I'm not saying BIPOC, I'm not saying Pac, I'm not saying Tupac. Black people. When we get a police force that defunds every oppressive institution, when we get a police force that executes the 21st century policing plan, which means you engage community members, which means you get them on policing, because policing is different than law enforcement. When there's a shooting, I need law enforcement. Before we ever get there to what's been spoken, we need community policing. To education in the state of Oregon, there's a Black African-American student success plan that sits at Oregon.gov that each of you can look at, that you can see, that you can advocate, that you can use your voice, you can use your privilege, you can use your connections to make things change. Now me, I'm a little different. I added to that list. First thing I added, for all young Black boys and girls, we eliminate all suspension based on nonviolent behavior issues. A hungry child, a child with parents who have substance abuse issues, a child who's been violated, is at school for sanctuary. And when he expresses his pain, to be pathologized and criminalized, and let's be honest, the majority of the people teaching our young kids are scared-ass white girls. These are young women who are pathologizing our boys and girls. We want to eliminate that. The next thing I want, as it relates to policy, I want every county in the state of Oregon to have their educational money tied to their ability to provide education about Black people in Oregon and Black people in America. If you can't make an investment in the truth, we will defund inadequate schools. Last, for me, and it really boils down to us getting at the heart of this. If a child uses racist language, if they use the N-word, if they use anything that can be intimidating, I want that to be a 3-day suspension for that child. We will not get white parents to change their attitude till they have to deal with coming to pick up their kids for the behavior they learned at home. Now, when it comes to this protest, one of the best things I've seen about this protest, and I tell people this all the time, Black people in the United States have never succeeded in protest at anything that lasted less than 381 days. The Montgomery Bulls boycott, the most institutional change, was 381 days. So what I propose and what I propose to everybody, commit your protest vehicle, whether it's going downtown, whether it's talking to people in your community, whether it's coming out to events like this, commit to 365 days. Look at what we've done in 60 days. I don't know none of y'all, I know a lot of them. But 65 days brought us together, marching through the community. The next step is, how do we look after 120 days? 180 days. Because I guarantee you this, I've lived through when we wanted to create Tubman Middle School, and that took a year of protest.
Oh, yeah.
I watched through all these other things, and it takes time, it takes momentum, and it takes tiring them out. It takes strategy that includes policy. It includes these brothers out here protesting. It includes you out here changing the way you talk to your friends. But anything less than 365 days is not a commitment to change. It's a commitment to, can we get this out of the way? Now, this brother right here, I've been working with this man since he was a youngster, and he makes me proud because he is part of this future generation of Black leadership. And I'm gonna say it like this: those people you see on TV, those pastors, those organization leads, they're not here. If they're not here and they're not in your face, where are they leading you? They're leading you to their funding. They're leading you to their next election. They're leading you to their professional perpetuation of a Black underclass. I don't care if you're white, Black, or brown. So at this point, I don't need you to yell Black Lives Matter. I need you to go to your communities, to go to your jobs, to go everywhere and actualize Black Lives Mattering. I need you to go work and advocate for black people to have the freedom to talk about what they want. I need you to go to your spaces and get them the agency to express what they feel, as they feel, whether it's racial, whether it's economic, whether it's gender, whether it's sexuality. Because the black community is not one data point. It's a spectrum of lives that cover age. They go from 8 to 80. They go from prenatal. And while we up here, if you really love black lives, let me tell you this. Black maternal infant mortality has not changed since World War II. Well, actually since the Civil War, and I'm gonna give you a fact. In 1863, if 100,000 black women had a baby, at least 800 babies would die between birth and that first year. For white women, that was about 435, so a little less than 2 to 1. 2020, with technology, with hygiene, with all of our advances, if you have 100,000 black women have a baby, 13 are gonna die. If you have 100,000 white women have a baby, 4 are gonna die. That means the ratio is increased. That doesn't count the fact that black maternal mortality is 5 times that of white women. So if we really want black lives to matter, it starts in the womb. It starts with breastfeeding. It starts with adequate health care for moms. It starts with a healthcare system that doesn't make black moms defend their right to have successful black births. Now, as it relates to the violence on our streets, what I will say is this. If Black Lives Matter, I need white people to ask black people, if your lives matter, why are you hurting each other? Because usually they want us to have difficult conversations with y'all, put y'all off guard, and, oh, I'm not racist. No, this is what I need you to do. Take that same passion they put at you and ask them, why are y'all hurting each other? And you're gonna get this uncomfortable thing, you're gonna hear about racism and all this other stuff. If black people are killing black people aren't valuing black people. And that's not cool. Because if Black Lives Matter, it's across the board. And if we want to be one humanity, we have to all hold each other accountable. And we all evolve through this process. So, before we go, come here, Keith. You been flipping and dancing. Love, where you at? Kyle, come here. Hey, what I want to take my last little bit of time to do, I said a little bit, don't make me fight you in front of all these people. I want to take the time to let you know, this event was not done by any organization. This wasn't corporate sponsorship. Drake, come on, player. Marte, birthday boy, come on. Kyle, right here. What I want you guys, Lasia, what I want you guys to understand, this is black leadership. This is when you get a partner who gives you a call to hook up with his friends and the young dudes that you inspire because they inspire you. This is 1 month. This is 6 phone calls. 2 Zooms. 2 in-person conversations. So anybody who tells you there's a barrier to change is bullshit. Anybody who tells you a group of committed friends can't change a community is bullshit. Anybody who tells you it takes a camera to be passionate is not telling you the truth. Because we're going to see Sam with some stuff coming up. Love is going to come up with some stuff. Dre is going to keep being downtown. Keith is going to be doing the happy dance, making sure we all cool. And we will be back.
And y'all better be here.
And we will be looking for you. But the thing we most definitely will do is we gonna be all right.
Yeah. We gonna be all right. Drop the beat. It's turn up time.
All's my life I has to fight.
Also,
All's my life hard times like yeah, bad trips like yeah.
turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up.
Marte's birthday! Marte's birthday party over here! Hey! Hey!
If you want to donate for my if you want to donate for my birthday, my cash app is Marte47 MARTAE. Love you, and I'm donating.
Also, for the people that have to go back to King and walk, we are all gonna walk together so everybody is safe. So we're gonna all walk back to King. If you want to walk back with the crowd, that's fine. Also, I want to thank the people who are helping clean it up out here. If you got water bottles, all that stuff, please put it in the garbage. We won't get the rest of it for the things that you guys leave.
Democracy field trip, Saturday afternoon edition. Got 3 hours and
again, I want to
40-some
thank
minutes.
everybody for coming out. I want to thank the volunteers. I want to thank the drivers, the people on motorcycles, the people on bikes, all my vendors out there. I need a sample. I wear a 1.5. Kevin, yeah, I need them too. Yeah. Stacking kicks. I need a pair of socks.
I'm about to get a bag of chips.
I need a pair of shorts, a hat, all that I need. Cool nuts, I need a couple shirts. Who else out there? Hannah, I need a couple snowballs.
I'm getting a granola bar.
Minus the gummy bears.
Dark chocolate Caesar almond, bag of Fritos. That sounds all delicious.
Oh, also, you guys, hold up.
I got a big ass walk to take.
A big shout out to the sound people. I forgot the name of the company, man. It's
Henry V.
What is it called?
Henry V.
No, I know. Yeah, I know his name, Jason. I've been calling him Steve all week. I want to give a shout out to Steve, man. I appreciate you.
That is something I do all day.
He donated all this stuff, man. I appreciate him. Yeah. So we're gonna turn up and we're gonna clean up. Repeat after me. Turn up. And clean up. All right.
Kelly. Good time at the park. Good time on the march.
And don't think this is the last event that we are throwing. This is just the beginning. Like I said, the hard work is now. The next thing is the hard work. So thank y'all for coming out. Appreciate it. Hey, how you doing? All right.
I don't want to write to the music. The field tripper beauties. Take a look at the rose garden.
Hey, we got a lost wallet up here.
Oh.
First name is Richard, last name Garcia.
That is not me.
So Richard Garcia is
I'm not Richard Garcia. Whoa. This is a really beautiful rose garden. Wow. Look at that. There's a lot of roses. But that's a lot of thorns. All right, field trippers. First stop of the day. The march from King Elementary to the Peninsula Park, which is, I didn't know. I had no idea there was a giant rose garden over here. That thing's like, you could fit like 20 of my houses on that thing. Like my whole yard. Not just the house itself, but like the whole yard. It's big as shit. So, learned a lot of things today on the march and on the trip. Can't remember them all. That's why I like these. Then I can go back and watch through them and watch the speakers again. See what's up. Review what I've forgotten already. I am in the Rose City. That is silly. I didn't think of that. But I thought like the Rose Garden was up on the hill by the zoo. I thought that was the Rose Garden. I didn't think about the fact that there might be a lot of rose gardens. Is there a shitload of rose gardens? Are there more than these rose gardens as well? I don't even know. Is there other rose gardens? Oh shit, it smells like roses. Wonder why. Probably all the roses. So, looks like I got like 9 minutes left on this, so I'm not gonna bore you all. Peninsula Park Rose Garden. Look at there. It's a descriptive as shit word. Oh, damn. I haven't seen a single line bike. I could line bike to my car. I haven't seen any line bikes. They always spin. Stupid spin things. There were good speakers at that event. Need to like figure out a way to annotate exactly who they all were, so I could like tag them and stuff. I'm certainly glad that I moved back over to the Facebook Live for the stream for this, because I would have hated to have had that on the other format. I don't think it would have been as clean and stuff. So, woo. I'm not around a single other human. I can take my mask off. Haha, Brandon. I don't have to have my mask on. Yeah, so I'm gonna go see if I can catch the thing at the firehouse now. I'm gonna be late for it, but whatever. Figured catching the end of that was more important than catching the beginning of that. So, Democracy Field Trip, Saturday edition. Gonna have the 3-stop Saturday. So, look for me in a little while, my little Democracy Field Trippers. And oh my God, hold on, wait a minute. There is protest pups that aren't actually protest pups, but they are cute, cute pups. Oh, look at the cute pupperdoos out for their walk. Little puppers. They weren't at the protest, so not really protest pups, but I saw them on my way back from the protest, so that makes them on the way back from the protest pups. All right, I'm gonna end this. This is silly. I will see you guys later.